safe that you're here in my arms. I think that you should know that together we belong. You are not good all the time. I can play games now. Go, 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 go. Whatever's going
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another stream. Hope you boys are having a wonderful, beautiful day. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back, boys. Welcome back to another wonderful, beautiful live stream. Boys, how are all you doing this evening? We got more 5v5 1v1 duels on the day. Cora, my man, let me move you over right there. You're fitting there just fine, my guy. But boys, hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful night. Let's get some 5v5 1v1 duels going. Today is EU day, so EU is welcome to put groups together. And we'll see how you boys do. We'll see. It was last week, dude. Cracker popped off with a whole squad, dude. He brought in the boys, and they were hungry. They were thirsty for some blood. That was exciting as hell. Yo, is there already group up? Vox trying to make group? Is that what's going on? Trying to add me? Boys, how's everybody doing? Tagsy already ready with a 5? Let's go, dude. Huge. 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 We got a whole team alliance ready to go. Do we have a second group by any chance? By any measure? Wait, is Pen Knight streaming now? Yo, I gotta peep in with him. I gotta peep in and see what he's doing. What's up, Seb, dude? What's up? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one. Dude, hopefully my voice isn't going bad again like it did that one time. I feel like it maybe is. Not because of I'm getting sick, because definitely last time I was getting sick, but now I think it's just because lack of sleep, man. I gotta get some coffee in me too. Let's get the music back up and running, boys. Now face it cries again. Yeah, you don't think so? Consider me out of his flame? What? You can't just give up like that. You can't look death in the face and be like, nah, I ain't gonna challenge you. Yo, when those dudes are challenging America in Elden Ring, they're going in there with bravery on their face, man. They're going in with a brave face, ready to go, ready to tackle on. They don't just say, no, I'm not gonna fight that boss. No, you have to. You have to defeat them. You don't grow unless you do. That personal growth is what's really, really important. You know what I mean? Alrighty, hopping on the hunter. And we'll see how the groups are looking right now. Tags it with a 5-man. Dermot, is that another group going on the actually you're alliance now, aren't you? I was gonna ask you if there's a horde group, but I'm pretty sure you're alliance now. Actually, no, don't you have one character on alliance and horde? We'll find out. Yo, Dal, my man, what's up, Nikolai? Dude, my man, hope you're having a good one, my guy. Hope you're having a good one, my dude. Another awesome week, beautiful stream. Hell yeah, dude, hell yeah. I'm a taxi. Alright, that sounds good, So we'll see if we got a second one. Calf, yo, Beggar, we got 5. Wait, Beggar got a 5. Wait, is Beggar with taxi? 4 locks, 3 alley, 1 horde. Alright, sounds good. Wait, that's your ults for taxi? You got 3. Why do you get 3? I guess like so you can play arenas and play with your friends and stuff as long as you have them like the warlock geared. No? Wait, so a different group? 5 out of 5? Wait, so separate groups? Wait, do we have 2 alliance groups ready to go? Unless Calf is Horde and I just don't remember. Also, look at this Draenei, by the way, man. Yo, it looks like an undead blacksmith. Kinda. It's like low fantasy plate armor. I actually kind of like it. I don't hate it. The opposite. I like it. Calf, are you ready? Yeah, Ali, so separate group. Wait, are we ready to go then? Wait, do we only have 2 groups ready to go, boys? Are you kidding me? Try now, let's do it. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Yeah, dude. My voice is actually starting to sound like it's gonna set. Damn, dude. Hopefully it doesn't. What's up, Dirk? Say, my man. Hopefully I'm having a good one. Yo, hopefully my voice doesn't sit today, boys. Let me get some coffee in me. Alrighty, let's get your boys in here. Spectator match. Spectator match. Tagsy and Calf. Any groups on alliance? Nemi, actually, it looks like we got 2. We got 2 alliance groups. We got Calf and Tagsy. 2 groups ready to go, man. That's actually kind of nuts, honestly. 2 groups ready. Let's go, boys. Pin? Yeah. I gotcha. Arena calls. This alignment of the stars is in dire sign, stirring bloodlust and calling warriors to battle in a death in a close quarters. Arena masters turn a tiny profit during these days, likely not understanding why their stands are overflowing amidst this excitement. Great rewards do await those brave or foolhardy enough to venture into the arena. Well, none of you boys are foolhardy. Join us this evening. All of y'all are brave souls, spilling some blood for the blood god Athaman. He is the true spirit of redemption, true spirit of honor, true spirit of the battle arena. The more blood we spill, maybe we might actually be able to see Atha join these at some point. You like that, lore? How Atha is like the avatar of the arenas? I kind of like it. Just because Atha doesn't really show up in these deals anymore and I want to see him again. That's just an excuse to see my boy again. You know what I mean? So Twitch, we got ourselves Fast As, gonna be first up. And one for the team 2 with Sulfur. Oh, I like the name Sulfur as a fire mage. That is so good. Go in that ghost wolf form. Quick breath of the fastest. Try to see him if he can fastly lock him down. Quick, greater power blast. Try to see if he can leave his fingers. Gonna be a go for a sudden pass. It's taking a bit of damage. It's gonna take a counter power blast. So it's gonna be Sulfur just going for a bit of damage, not committing a full combustion just yet. Shifted power to get him even more cooldown reduction. Try to go for fire blast on the fastest as long as he gets some sort of a master burning of this rogue. And maybe a blink in just a second or 2. He might be able to deny the rogue a reset. That's going to be a quick mount up with a Nova. Does get the rogue out into combat. Quick breath just to control him some more. Ring of Frost to CC the rogue. Might have to trinket here as the Ring of Fire is going to attack him fastest with the kitten shot. Going to be a blink for Sulfur. Fire blast on the fastest. I think it's over unless it's made Cloak of Shadows. He actually does go into C-Pod. And Sulfur sees the C-Pod. This is where you should have just committed a cloak. At that point, you thought, you know what? I'm not dying to a Pyroblast, though. There's no way. And Sulfur does end up whittling out the rogue. The quick breath into a ring, into greater pyros to whittle his health down little by little. Literally turning the boy into ash. On team 2, we got ourselves Fenney loading up a full flesh cow. In the back, we got ourselves Huge Buttman. Next time, Huge, I'm gonna request you to remove the cloak so we can confirm for sure. Otherwise, I feel like you need to change your name. We got Huntoon as a survival hunter, as well as Beggar on that outlaw. I like it. Fenney getting hit with yet another poly, also Ring of Frost. It's gonna slow him down. Sulfur going for your greater Pyroblast with the Ruin Power to fall. It needs to break through. A Flesh Gift does get through it masterfully. Fenney trying to see if they can recover that health by starting to expand and build holy power as fast as possible. Going for his many Word of Glories is what I meant to say, but it's a healing hand talent. It's a healing hand talent. You get what I mean. Quick breath of the Fenney with a poly. Fenney kind of high on health, so it's worth polying him. Gonna go for another Greater Pyro. I haven't seen a Greater Pyroblast plays in so long by Mages. Gonna be a Ring of Fire to fall on top of it. Fenney looking to duck behind the pillar. Is gonna try to land a Flash of Light. Could be a blink interrupt on the Sulfur, but Fenney recovered quite a lot of health. At this point, I heard some of you guys tell me that apparently Word of Glory doesn't heal nearly as much as a Flash of Light. Can a Paladin in the chat confirm or deny this? Is that true? Is that the state of Paladin right now for PvP? Like, it's actually more value for you to get a couple of Flash of Lights to heal yourself than Word of Glory spamming your holy power away? Or am I wrong in that one? I heard it somewhere. I forget who in chat said it. Sulfur trying to see if they can chase Fenney away. Fenney can find himself kind of lowish on health. Flashlights are keeping him alive with the Shield of Vengeance popping right down next to Sulfur. Actually doing quite a lot of damage. Big waiting. Sulfur taking a bit of pressure. Hodge of Sulfur does get really, really low. Resonator trick and forcing out an Ice Bucket on the mage. And Fenney is using whatever holy power they have built up in order to start recovering as much health as they can. No dampening creeping up on these boys just yet. Quick Ring of Frost surrounding the Red Paladin with the Greater Pyroblast, just slowly barreling towards a big Pyroblast to follow with Phoenix Slaves. Does Sulfur have any more tricks up their sleeve? Shifted power right after. Could potentially go an interrupt on the Fenney. It's going to force out the Holy Interrupt, but that's going to be a Flesh Cap to cover the body instead. Another G-Fight to hopefully get through the top defense exterior that is Flesh Cap. Hand of Freedom keeping Fenney moving. Going to be a Wings to follow Sulfur with a Trinket, trying to see if he can lock down Fenney. Going to be a Trinket on the Pally. Big Slammer Jammer damage. Oh my goodness. Oh, Sulfur just continued to take the damage from at least 10 yards away. Just keeps getting hammered out. Oh my god. It didn't just pressure that guy with that range. That Paladin range is kind of nuts, not gonna lie. It's not something I expect all that often. And you would think, it's kind of like the Outlaw range. Like a lot of mages will Nova or Rogue and they kind of walk away, but not far enough where you keep Sinister striking them. It's a little bit, it gotta be a jarring experience. Like, I thought it was safe, because with every other class you would be, not with a Paladin. Not with the Legendary they're running. Ring of Fire onto Fenney with a Ring of Frost slowing him down, but Sulfur is not really pushing you aggressively, just trying to play defensive. That's going to be Ice Block down for the count. Cauterize the only thing that's keeping him alive as an emergency heal. Whatever crowd control and whatever shielding they can provide for themselves is also another thing that's going to help them out a little bit here. But they do have to wait until they get a perfect setup versus Fenney. Fenney actually took enough crit damage that the Aura of Vengeance is ready to fire. The next auto attack gonna activate them glorious wings and committing a ton of holy damage towards Sulfur, but only if they can reach him. It looks like with that crack control back to back, maybe that Crusader strike damage is gonna be gone. Hand of Freedom for Fenney gets him super low. There's gonna be a bubble forced out by the Paladin with a combustion. It's gonna be ultra time for Sulfur. Needs to keep Fenney out in the open. Ultra time is gonna put him back out in a good position to interrupt Fenney. Fenney would be under pressure. That's gonna be another Pyroblast. He's gonna chuck down with the Phoenix Face to follow. Do they have a blink to catch up? No, Ring of Fire instead is going to force the Paladin out from behind the pillar. Quick Root is going to keep him out in the open. Ring of Fire doesn't quite hit Fenney, so Sulfur is going to have to readjust it. And Fenney building up more holy power, dampening on super high, so they could still get a lot of healing. Could still get a ton of self-heal rolling. Shifting power is going to give Sulfur a little bit more cooldown reduction. Does have a blink in order to get out of that stun easily. With a big damage proc for Fenney, doesn't quite do enough damage to get Sulfur low enough. Gonna be immediate Trinket as the Ring of Frost comes out. G-Pie still connects. That's gonna be Fenney under a ton of pressure. Wings to follow. Does have a lot of healing while Wings are up. Might be able to sustain the damage from Sulfur. Sulfur can do chuck out Pyroblast back to back. Fire Blast burning and singeing Phoenix. But Phoenix is doing just fine for now. All the time is gonna give Sulfur a lot of that distance. Loading up a G-Pie immediately. Fenney does recover a little bit, lost a bit of health that they had gone. Continue to build as much holy power while they got it. Playing Necrolord does give you extra holy power generation with that Necrolord Gavel. Or Vanquish's Hammer, I guess is the name of it. As Sulfur blinking away. So far has been very survivable for this duel. Macachat saying, go Pally kill him. Actually, might be able to. As Sulfur gets super low with that one hit. That's going to be another Templars. And that's going to be a long range Templars. G-Pie getting loaded up yet again. Fenney. Plenty of health, unless Sulfur combustion might turn it around. Wait, does he get it? That's going to be Shield of Vengeance, keeping Fenney alive just a little bit longer. It's going to go for self-healing. Needs to catch up to Sulfur. Gets it trapped on a holy. There goes the Flash Cut. 20% damage reduction with a shield. Sulfur swapping off to a channeling shifted power. Might be able to finish off Fenney right here. Do they have enough Nova to Fenney? Do they have a Hand of Freedom? One more Pyro might do it, man. That's going to be Flash of Light. Is that an interrupt available for Sulfur? He doesn't have an interrupt or a blink interrupt. And that's going to be both of them extremely low. Whose game is it going to be? Still Cauterize available for Sulfur. Trying to see if they can blink away from Fenney. Trying to load up a G-Pie. That's going to be rebuked pretty early by the Paladin. And Sulfur could maybe go for a G-Pie, but that's going to be Cauterize with an Ice Block. Fenney had to fight through so much when it comes to the mobility and defensiveness and the tankiness of a Fire Mage. Even though they're not playing the triple shield Lego, they're still quite tanky. I mean, being able to blink often gives you a lot of mobility. Also gives you a shield. The fiery shield, but also gives you that stamina shield, which basically tried to nerf as best as they could. There's only so much they could really do. G-Pie, Fenney takes a full hit, slow down right after, Ring of Fire to follow, no combustion for Sulfur for 10 more seconds, so Fenney might be okay, does have wings. Could counter the aggression of combustion with wings and go for as much self-healing as possible. Shift to power is going to give Sulfur the combustion opportunity. Can they maybe get a breath onto Fenney? And then maybe go for a Ring of Frost? That might be what they need here in order to lock down Fenney. Actually going to be a polymorph instead, but since Fenney is at high health. Setting up a Ring of Frost as they go for full burst. Fenney is going to be slowed down. Bubble available very, very soon. Mighty Pop Shield of Vengeance is going to get a Shield of Vengeance rolling really early. Burn through really easily though, with combustion rolling up. It's going to be Fenney popping wings, trying to see if they can counter the damage with the healing. Isn't going to be enough though, trying to keep himself afloat, barely, keeping himself running. That's going to be plenty of Word of Glory, plenty of Holy Power generated, using all of it defensively. It looks like they might be able to survive. Combustion is gone so far with an ult time. Fenney should be aware that Sulfur is going to be ported back to his original location. Does take a huge portion of damage from the Paladin, but does reverse it. Put himself up better in a much better spot out in the open. Fenney does close that gap. That's going to be a big old hammer coming down. Hammer swiping at Sulfur with a divine favor. It's going to be G-Pie almost leaving the fingertips of the mage. It's going to blink behind the pillow with shift to power. That Lego giving you the mobility while running does give you a lot of survivability. Fleshcraft getting interrupted. That's going to be Fenney. Back with the bubble, back with the bop. I think Fenney actually got nothing to really worry about. They just need to figure out how to burst down Sulfur once they do get on top of him. Setting up a big old Vanquish's Hammer. It's going to be G-Pie together with a Ring of Fire. As the Mage Rune of Power is going to be up. Big damage to Fenney without a combustion. That was actually quite a chunky hit. And Fenney is going to go for as much Holy Power healing as they can. Just trying to keep himself alive as we hit on that 10-minute mark. Are you kidding me? This mage has been alive for into the 28% dampener. Mages without mobility. The big utility for defensives. The crowd control they get, man. I mean, the build they got going on right now, they're slippery. Look, every single HUD, you cannot lock down this mage at all. At all whatsoever. Can Fenney somehow turn this around? G-Pie loading in as it's going to be Ring of Fire with the Ring of Frostfall. I think Ring of Fire might have missed by a hair, but still might have gotten a little bit of a singe at Fenney's armor. Big ultra time. Does Sulfur survive this burst? If Fenney can just get the biggest hit possible, that's going to be Seraphim proccing. Bubble right now for Fenney. It's forcing out a pretty big cooldown. Sulfur could maybe turn around. Combustion is available for the mage. Does his combustion right now? I think that's why Fenney bubbled. It's because it saw combustion out of the mage. Still big pyros flying in. Fenney with a shield of vengeance could use wings again aggressively. Has himself Crusade stacked up with a Vengeance Aura. Next auto check is going to be huge damage. Sulfur barely surviving it. Ring of Frost is Fenney have anything for it at all. Great Pyroblast is still flying out of the fingertips of the mage. Does not give up. Continue to stay aggressive. Oh my goodness. That was a long duel. I'm surprised the mage lived as long as they did. Trying to recover as much food as possible. On Huntun is trying to deny him any kind of recovery. That was a tough one, man. As a paladin, he's just getting kited the whole time. It's Fenney. Oh no. I love watching Fenney, dude. They did the very, very best they could, honestly. I don't really know what else they could do. Like, at that point, and I feel like if any one of the bursts, they could have just crit on Sulfur and it would have been game over. If only one of those setups crit, that would have been game over completely. Mage counters Paladins are hard. It does. Like, it's a natural counter. Not much. Incredible duel. I agree with you on that one, sub dude. That was fantastic. Well played for the Paladin Mage. Yeah, I enjoyed that duel as well, Dirks. Hunter is going to be up next. Aegis Trinket. Try to see if they might be able to deny some of the damage from Sulfur. It's going to be Ring of Frost to stop him in place on Huntun. At least he has a defensive ready for this one. G-Pie still cooking up either way with the Ring of Fire to follow. Does Huntun have himself the defenses to deal with this? It's going to go for Feign Death. I don't know if this man is playing Craven Stratagem though. I did not see the proper Craven Stratagem setup. Dropping down a trap, but Sulfur is already nowhere to be found. Trusting out a couple of Phoenix Flames with a Pyroblast. Sigil of the Hunter. I really don't... I feel like this man is not running the Craven Stratagem. Actually, recently, we've seen a lot more Hunters in these duels run not the Craven Stratagem, but that one other legendary. It's a legendary that passively reduces the cooldown of your aspects and your main damage and ability by like 33%, if not 30. I've seen a lot more of you guys run something like that. Maybe there's some value to the legendary. Maybe it's a new meta just so Hunters can have more bursts more often and some defensiveness as well. But this Craven Stratagem seems way too good. Another Ring of Frost onto Huntun with a G-Pie to follow. Fire Blast right after. That's going to be big combustion. Oh, just getting smoldered. Wasn't even given a chance. Huge butt man. Again, we still got his cloak on. We can't really confirm or deny if this man is living up to his name, but he's going to try to see if he can set up a fire Ellie next to Sulfur. I wonder if this man, if he's playing like a cheesy build or is just playing like a proper shaman build. Necrolord. Okay, so he's either playing like the Ascendance build or playing the normal build. I'm kind of hoping it's a big Ascendi build because Ascendi is super fun. Not that you actually play Ascendance, you just gotta play the Ascendance Legendary, which is so fun. Once you get a bunch of procs of Lava Burst rolling in, it is so fun, so good. Like the last of Sulfur, it's gonna have a blink in order to break it. It's gonna give himself a bit of a shield every time they blink. Quick breath onto huge as they go for a polymorph. The fire elemental might actually be able to do a bit of damage here. Trinket out of huge. It's gonna go for an intro. It's gonna be another repoly as Sulfur wants to make sure they're in control of this duel. Just gonna go for a reset versus the shaman. The shaman, every time they get a lasso, it's unless Sulfur blinks a little early. I don't know if this meant like they blinked right now. If you get a lasso on them, that's gonna be able to punish the mage pretty tough. That's gonna be double lava bursts flying in. Those lava bursts do quite a bit of damage actually. It's a consistent damage output. Next time Sulfur blinks, this way huge needs to punish him. There goes the lasso, blinking at your wall, does break the lasso, quick breath at huge. And is it gonna swap out for Earth Elemental at some point? I wonder. Because Firely's gone. G-Pie onto huge with a pirate to follow, is gonna wall this damage off, trying to go for big Earth Shock as Sulfur dies behind the pillar with that shit to power, gonna be a freeze onto huge. As he is going to be slowed down a little bit, chasing after Sulfur with the Ring of Fire doing a bit of damage. The Earth Elemental does come out, and Sulfur could be under a ton of pressure. This Shaman could be the one to take him down. Blink really early for Sulfur could be a lasso to really punish him. If only huge could just swing around the corner. There goes the lasso. Sulfur has a way to break it with a human racial. With a Ring of Frost that are huge. Do they go for Earth Elemental wall? Can they actually even do it? Big blast. Oh my goodness. I don't think he can even press the wall from the Earth Ellie since it's frozen as well. So far, Sulfur is just coming back, bringing back that mage meta. And Beggar is going to be out next. He's literally in spotlight as the flares shining under their feet. I like your Mog, by the way. I like how you use like a little bit of that Wrath of Lich King pants. The legs, I'm not even sure from what. I think it's like a random mob questing in TBC in Classic. The shoulders are from Firelands. The helm is a candle. You're part kobold. I like your Mog overall. I started doing like the whole like your pants are from there, your shoulders are from there. I was like, I was thinking to myself like, what am I trying to do? I'm gonna try to like make Asmongold here for Chasma competition. By the way, a lot of you guys have been asking for Chasma comps. Should we do them on stream sometime? Just like a Wednesday thing or something. Just hop on EU, hop on an A, judge you boys. Quick G-Pie, rid of the Ring of Fire. Bagger taking a bit of damage, is gonna walk into the Ring of Frost. Clucker Shot is gonna use pretty early, playing out that Outlaw Rogue, so you can be a little bit more aggressive. As the spec grappling over to Sulfur, she's gonna have himself there all the time to put him back to where he needs to be, which is away from Bagger. Caught for Fire Blast, firing out or after, maybe with a Pyro Blast to follow. Bagger diving into a Vanish Reset. And the Outlaw Rogue at 64% dampening. I don't know if you'll be that tanky, because it is quite a lot of your self-healing is gone, but generally is a take a spec for PvP. Ring of Frost, G-Pie, I think it might be over. Oh yeah, I did not really give you a chance. As soon as you, actually, do you have a trinket that time? That might have been a situation where you trinket immediately as soon as you see it. And that's gonna be Sulfur with a 1v5. First duel of the day, and Sulfur popping up with a 1v5, boys. Are you kidding me? Literally first duel of EU. I've only got a fire mage just blasting these boys out of town. What is going on? Worked out some conduits? You're good, Calf. You're good. You'll get another chance anyway. That's what happens when you're trying your spec and your playstyle. It happens to me all the time, so I'm like, I knew there was something I missed. That's going to be one of the things that I'm not going to miss in Dragonflight. Not have to worry about conduits and stuff. Talents, you're going to be able to customize them anytime you want to, whenever you want to. So excited for that. Let's get another duel going, boys, yeah? Another 5V5 1v1 for the day. Sentry with a group 4 out of 5. Yo, we got a horror group, boys. If y'all want to join Sentry, horror group got a 5-man. There's a +1 to get you boys in here. I did like how Sentry used to put these duels at a 4.5 out of 5 because he counted himself as a 1.5 in there. Yo, Taxi, I got your group. I'm definitely going to get you back in here, man. Definitely. If Cav got a group or if Sentry got his +5 on the horde, we'll get you in immediately. Hold on, I need to get the Russian keyboard out. Всё хорошо. It's like надеюсь и у тебя. There we go. Asking, hey, I'm good. How are you? Jibber Chat is like, why is Dalaran talking about a whore? Who's the whore? Хорошо. Try to tell him everything is good. Хорошо. Хорошо. We're still together, ready? Actually, yeah, we'll get Cat back in here. We'll get a bit of a rematch. While Sentry's looking for a +1. Oh, Sentry's ready? Let's actually mix it up a little bit. Calf. We'll get Sentry and Taxi, and then Calf, you'll be next versus Sentry. We'll get you guys back in here immediately. One offline. So we can't queue. Taxi, I'll give you a second. Otherwise, I'll queue Calf and Sentry if they're ready. We can give it a second. Andromedon? He. Hi, how you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one. Hey, what's up, man? I'm my man, Fenney. Old town's taken from me, but a chicken from Horn Hunt is not a magician. That's why I lost. It's all good, Fenney. Yeah, I feel you, though. I feel you. Yeah, I feel you, though. You were starting quick? Yeah, we'll wait, we'll wait. We're ready? Wait, Andromedon, do you have a separate group, or are you a part of someone else's group? Bear? Is it EU or NA 5V5? EU. NA is Saturday. Wait, did Beat try to add me? Wait, isn't Beat the DK? Oh, Beat might be the DK from NA. Or maybe EU? I don't remember. I think he's NA. What's up all together? Maybe Friday, y'all. Happy Friday, boys. I'm just having a wonderful, beautiful Friday evening, everybody. Hey. So, Anton, do you have a separate group, or are you part of someone's group? Like, are you part of Taxi's group, or Sentries, or Calves? 5? Okay, Taxi's here. Look at Sentry versus Taxi. Calf, you on standby. You next, okay? Calf is standby next. 100% guarantee. If Anton has a separate group, invite spectator match. If Anton has a separate group, we can get him in here. Unless he's part of Sentry's group. Sentry, Taxi. Oh, Taxi, Sentry. Taxi, Sentry, I'm trying again. Leader, as name. Okay, Anton Badon is leader. Okay. Anton Badon. Okay. I gotcha. Gotcha. It's saying that he is lead of the group. Okay, cool. So when Sentry says they're ready, Anton Badon has the lead for one reason or another. That'll work. Hey, Dal. Hey, what's up, Cashel? How you doing, fam? Hope you have a good one. Right on time at your stream, basically. Yeah, you are, my man. What's up, Chill? How you doing, by the way, my man? Mage counters Paladin so hard. Chill. We gotta play together in season 4, man. We gotta do some outroad DK goodness, dude. You stay Alliance, I'll stay on the Horde. We can slap boys together, man. Yeah. Maybe get Chicago to healers or something, just for funsies. Now what up? What's up, DJ? As I do, man. Hope you're having a good one. Is there groups up? I can't see any of G. Woden, there should be some up right now. Yeah, we got at least one Horde group, 2 Alliance groups, and they should be looking for more. So yeah, we should have some groups. We should have some opportunity. Every time a duel ends, check LFG immediately. So we got a Horde group and an Alliance group about to compete against one another real quickly, because Tags' team only had the mage kind of pop off for the whole game, didn't let anybody else play. Dermo hunted, Sensu, fake, or Taxi. I don't know why I called you fake. This guy's fake. That sounds super respectful when I said fake. How many are we at on EU, man? Oh, dude, EU got to catch up to NA. NA got like 130 of these or something. EU is only like 112, dude. We're just breaking into them baby numbers. Let's go. Got my coffee ready. Let's get some matches. Let's go, boys. Yo, are we gonna see my boy Cracker, by the way? Anybody know if Cracker is playing? Let him know that I miss him and I think he's beautiful and I want to see him play. I want to see him play if possible, but only if he wants to. To Twitch. If you got stuff going on, then I hope he has luck in whatever he's doing right now. Ava gonna be first up for Zagsy, already exchanging with a quick conflagration on one end, a couple of agonies and corruptions on the other. And both of them sacrificing pets. It looks like Adva is playing with a succubus. This is going to keep that going next to him. Tags are going to be getting loaded up with a couple of dots. It's going to be a slow, quick. Succubus, he sees Adva is going to check out a Chaos Bolt. This himself do good proc. This could be the big one. It's going to be Shadow Fury to follow. Chaos Bolt after is going to be quick control by Tagsy. I think actually maybe human racialing out of the stun. Full dots loaded into Adva with a dark layer, ramping up those dots. Adva might be in big trouble, trying to go for a dark pack, but it's just melted right through. He just actually getting cinched with those dots, absolutely just devoured by all those self-consuming dots. Stun around the corner with the drain line. Adva's still in big trouble. This guy might just be dead. Oh my goodness, Taxi! He's just monstrous. This Affliction Warlock is a monster, but you know what? He's walking at a he's walking up versus a Desert Warlock who's also a monster. One got DOS is just gonna melt you and your and your ancestors down to primordial goo. And the other one just got big chasms that are just looking to devour you, to like two dragons pouncing after your head. Jax is gonna be up next versus Antimadon, another big competitor over the 5v5 duel arena. Summoning of the army, gonna be a great dark pack for Taxi. Might not go for Porty. You're gonna be some dots loaded up versus Anton with a quick fear. Does not go for the Lichborn. I think trying to save that Lichborn for later. There goes the Lichborn. Decided, you know what, I'm gonna use it. They've been trying to use the Lichborn to maybe get an interrupt versus Taxi. Taxi is playing the Resolve Trinket, the passive one. They did get nerfed, but I think it's still like really good, right, chat? Is Resolve still like a really annoying trinket to play into? They did try to nerf it, like it should be able to root people. And Death Knights actually do have some counterplay to Resolve with the grips. Grippy hand and the normal grip, and then the Necro grip. Big trade for Taxi, getting a lot of health out of all these pets of Anton trying to go for Malefic Rapture. Is gonna rapture up his dots. It's gonna be Anton jumping after him. Mortal Coil is gonna hit him. Stunned with the trigger to follow Taxi with the human racial, trying to see if he can bail out of there. Standing next to the gateway in case he needs to take it, using the mobility from the port in order to keep himself rolling. And Anton trying to see if he might be able to get some pressure versus that pet, maybe get a couple of death strikes. Taxi catching up all that healing with a drain life, has the dark pack ready to go in case he needs to. Anton rotating that Aegis Trinket, trying to reduce as much of this magic damage he's taking, and is going to be able to hopefully heal himself while offsetting a good portion of that magic damage into the shield. Full dots by Taxi, ramped up versus Anton, is going to be going for the big old gateway. Drain life onto Anton, doing a bit of damage. Fleshcraft for Anton with a death pack, having to use everything just to survive the assault from the Affliction Warlock. So far, Taxi can just maintain agony, maintain corruption, as long as it can maybe get a UA in here once in a while. And then just maintain all those dots and let the procs happen. That's going to be a lot of sustained pressure versus Anton. And there's not much they can really do about it. Besides, you know, popping AMS and maybe going for interrupts, going for stuns, going for CC, but it's a lot harder with that Resolve Chicken. Stunner to Taxi does get some chain back-to-back stuns. Oh, huge damage to the Taxi, and Anton turn it around against the Monstrous. Oh my goodness, what was that damage? Anton, what'd you do to him? How would you even get CC in between of that? I think he threw away like a stun from the pet or something just to proc down the proc out the Resolve Trinket to make sure his normal stun is the full value. That was incredible. That's going to be a Lichborn trying to catch up with some healing. Sulfur loading himself up. Giving Anton an opportunity to get an honor duel though, which is something we'll love to see in these 5v5 1v1s. You don't necessarily need to get the other person an opportunity. What happened? I blinked. I know, right? He ended up getting a proc with the Soul Reaper. Got CC chained up perfectly. And then just ramped up all that burst with the Army of the Dead versus Taxi. And Taxi running Resolve. Jesus, Anton, you might be. Oh my god! Well, I was trying to explain what happened to to that Warlock. It's because some dude said I blinked. I feel like I just had the same situation. I think I just blinked and I didn't even see what happened there. Mock MVP is going to be up next though. Tricketing out of CC immediately. That's going to be another polymorph that out full damage rolling in Sulfur somehow. I don't even know how, but blasted out that Death Knight completely out to smithereens. I can't even believe it. Mogdom tried to see if they could catch up. Got himself a Christmas Pepe on their head. What is this Mog too? Is this like a Paladin set? It's like a full green Pally set. From Legion, I think first raid, first tier. Polymorph out for Sulfur, trying to see if he can land a Ring of Frost onto Mogdem. Should be able to slow him down quite a bit. Mogdem has a lot of defenses ready to go in case he needs to. It's going to be Aegis Chicken trying to give him some sort of survivability. Fire Blast breaking through that Ring of Frost. Mogdem does need to get himself an angle in order to catch back up to Sulfur. Does get himself a charge. Sulfur, does he go for Blinks versus Mogdem? Because Mogdem I don't think has any stuns. I think you kind of want to use Blinks whenever you need to. Kind of like just to get away from the guy. Gonna be a Blink versus Mogdem. He knows that he wants to hang out next to where the altar time is for Sulfur. Good cancel that altar time. It looks like Sulfur's gonna do. No, not gonna do that. Just gonna let that altar time happen and meeting Mogdem with a quick breath. Trying to see if they continue a CC chain versus the Warrior. Greater Pyroblast getting loaded up. As Mogdem is sitting on Poly, it's going to be a Blaster trying to see if he can spin himself out of this. 6 minutes in a duel, 7% dampener. And for the Warrior, this is going to be quite a hell of a game, as his healing is going to get reduced little by little. It's going to have to pop big defenses here. That's going to be Sulfur dancing around him, going up that ramp perfectly, and then jumping off it, trying to make sure there's a bit of distance away from Mogdem so they're not getting melee auto attack. And it looks like Mogdem definitely needs to set up a slow onto Sulfur whenever possible. Slowing down this mages should be a priority. Just forcing him to use Blinks as much as possible. It's a must. You have to have a hamstring on the guy or piercing howl or whatever you got in order to give this guy CC'd. G-Pi is gonna connect, cannot really go for the reflect. That's gonna be Pyro Blast. I think maybe one of those Fire Blasts maybe got reflected, not Pyro. Big banner up for Mogdem, has some mobility, but looks like he's gonna back up out of it instead. Maybe he's waiting for the ultra time. Looks like he wanted to wait by the ultra time, but Sulfur is gonna cancel it out. Got himself the shifted power. Banner still rolling for Mogdem, giving him lots of fury to work with, lots of rage blade storming out of that root. Potentially could catch up to Sulfur. He's gonna try to go for an Abyss, cannot really get himself a proper Abyss. Breath onto Mogdem, got played CC, could be a trinket right here. It's gonna be Refall. He got himself a reflect, but that's gonna be a quick Fire Blast for Sulfur. Wildcat, basically mid-cast with a poly Fire Blast just to make sure he gets consumed for that reflect so he doesn't polymorph himself. That was a quick thinking, quick move by Sulfur. Almost like he expected for that ultra time, or for that reflect to come out of the warrior. I thought honestly that a poly should have got reflected. I feel like it came out so clutch for Mogdem. I'm surprised he got a Fire Blast with it. I am very, very surprised. Ring of Frost with a poly. That's going to be Mogdem CC for quite a bit. I see he's going to have to walk through the Ring of Frost. It's going to slow him down. Reflect up. I don't know if he's going to reflect much hit himself. It's going to be Sulfur with combustion. It's going to be Mogdem with a massive fences with enraged regeneration. Potentially even a impending victory. Trying to see if he can catch up versus the mage. Just absolutely just a blaze. Trying to see if he can put out the fire. He needs to get as much heal as he can. But how do you steal health from literally a Burning Man? Sulfur got himself shifted power, gonna get interrupted, trying to deny cooldown reduction for Sulfur. Quick breath, Sulfur doesn't quite go for a poly. I was gonna expect a poly or maybe Ring of Frost. Gonna be a quick poly, quick Fire Blast out of Mogdem. Did Sulfur even G-Pie himself? I think they did. Ring of Frost to follow, and Mogdem is going to get him to CC. He walks into it. Trinket for Sulfur with a breath of the Mogdem. Can he walk around the ring? He is able to massively walk around. It doesn't trump Sulfur. Sulfur diving onto the pillar, onto the platform, while in that ghostful form as a soul shape. Mogdem trying to see if he can catch up. Does get a quick charge. It's not going to be an interrupt just yet. Potentially could get himself a Blade Storm for the next one. Big damage to Sulfur. Has ultra time ready to go, and that's going to be Mogdem ready to re-engage. Poly back up. Sulfur's trying to find himself a little bit of a breathing room. Looks like the warrior was able to get Sulfur in a good enough situation and put enough pressure. Does Mogdem have a leap? He has a mount up, but he has to catch back up to Sulfur. He is expecting the breath yet again. May just try to give himself as much of a breathing room to let that breath come back for off cooldown. Get himself Nova, potentially go for Ring of Frost. Mogdem does have a trinket, so this warrior is super scary. Blade Storm, and it doesn't look like he's playing that Tormented King's Lego. So he's playing I think the Rampage Lego that has a chance of applying a Siege Breaker on your target. But it's kind of like a Colossus Smash, but for fewer words. Ring of Fire, that's going to be big damage on the Mogdem. I think with the G-Pi 2, Mogdem is going to be put behind a little bit, but then Rage Regen is back up. What's the cooldown on Rage Regen for you? It feels like you could use it, or maybe this man is not playing that. Maybe he's playing the cooldown reduction Lego. So there's another one where your crits from your Rampages have a chance to make your Enrage Regeneration or your Recklessness come back, or both. But it's only a chance on crit. So first you gotta get a chance to crit, and then when you do crit, it's a chance on those crits. So I wonder if that's what he's playing for. I feel like if I watch over the footage and just look at the cooldown reduction, at the cooldown of Enrage Regen and see it come back faster, then I'll know for sure. Enrage Regeneration, or not Enrage Regen, Reckless is up for Mogdem, trying to see if he can chop into Sulfur. I don't think he has ultra time or anything. It's gonna be Sulfur trying to see if he can deny as much damage as he can from Mogdem. Mogdem does break out of the root somehow, does save a leap to come back up. Flash cut to keep himself alive, and Sulfur under a ton of pressure. Every time Mogdem get cooldowns, he is super scary. He has plenty of survivability, plenty of mobility, and Sulfur try to see if they just keep it at bay. It's gonna be yet another breath with a poly. G-Pi get it set up. Mogdem does not have a trigger for this one, but does have plenty of defense. It's going to be a quick charge in order to catch up to Sulfur. Reflect up, and Sulfur got himself combustion. This Mogdem is actually going to bail out of it for a second. It's going to be flame strikes around the corner, and Sulfur's just trying to get whatever damage he can into Mogdem while crit is up. Ultra time is up, so he might be able to put himself in a better spot versus Mogdem. Put himself right behind him. It's going to be quick and petty victory by the warrior in order to catch up on a lot of healing. 36% dampening, and this warrior is doing plenty of healing as if he's got a pocket healer on him, but there's nobody out here healing him. It's just this man fueled by his own rage. G-Pi within a ring of fire. Loading up. Mogdem's taking the most amount of damage here. That's going to be a quick banner up for the warrior. Got himself in rage regen in case he needs to. Reckless is up. He's going to pop defenses and offenses. Sulfur could be in big trouble. That's going to potentially mage going down for the count. Good ice bucket, but I think it's going to be a shattering throw. Is he able to commit here? Is he able to finish it? Mage is going to try to see if we can just run away from Mogdem. Can this warrior finish it right here? Sulfur, there's the last leg. There's nothing real left for him. That's going to be blazed him out of the Nova. Quick blink by Sulfur in the soul shape fear onto Sulfur. Trinkets out of it immediately. Has another blink comes out. Has nothing left at all. Mogdem just needs to land one execute on this man, and he will take him out. Sulfur does have cauterize though. I was honestly thinking that maybe cauterize and Icebuck happen at the same time. No, separate those two. So he does have a defensive. That's going to be a quick blink, a quick leap by Mogdem. Trying to see if he can end it right now. Does he have it here? Another Nova. Barely keeping him alive. Sulfur with a cauterize. Trying to see if he keeps him alive. Does he have any more mobility? Trying to pop an invis. I don't know if that invis is going to let you escape. Yeah, that invis did not let you get a clean one, but you do have a little bit of health. Mogdem just needs 1 or 2 more globals to finish it. Blink out of the mage really early. Mogdem going for full fleshcraft. Is that a Marilyn Soulbind? I don't think it is. I don't know what Soulbind you would be running, but I don't think it's a Marilyn Soulbind. Otherwise, you would see like a Marilyn Shimmer and a bit of a re-heal. Sulfur trying to catch up on some health. Reflect is up. Mogdem trying to see if he can bust out of there. Sulfur blinking away. It's going to be Blazer for Mogdem as he's just slowly spinning over towards Sulfur. I think it might be over for the mage with a quick breath. And the Ring of Frost is going to freeze Mogdem into place for a second. No trick available. Trying to see if he can continue to stay aggressive versus this warrior. G-Pie with a fireball. Combustion ready to go. That's going to be ages up for Mogdem. Does he have any way to catch up to the mage? Is going to go for that enrage regen. Try to see if he can snipe some heals away from those images. Sulfur super low on health. Mogdem plenty of recovery. Reflect up in case he needs to. Sulfur right under him, trying to go with the shift in power. That shift in power is going to give him some cooldown reduction, more blinks, more shields at 49% dampening. Quick reflect by the warrior, trying to go for full recklessness. Sulfur is in so much trouble at no health whatsoever. Quick charge, and it might be an execute right here. See Ponchafala. Mogdem does it. They've taken him out. That was such a long duel, but a well-earned one. Literally go for teabagging and leaves. He committed everything. He threw it all on the floor just to take down that mage and is out of here. He doesn't want to see that man's face ever again. Man, that was a long duel. That warrior wanted that one badly. Naze is going to be up next as a Affliction Warlock with a Necrolord. Fear onto Hunted. Got himself full dots. Drain Soul is going to be quick faint death by a Hunted. Still loaded up with dots. Another guy that's not playing Craven Stratagem. I swear to God, we just saw a Hunter who was not playing Craven Stratagem earlier. And this is another Hunter right here that also isn't playing Craven Stratagem. Loaded up with dots. Got himself a faint death. Got himself a short turtle. Short coordinate assault. Short cheetah, but no dots. And they start to see if he can get the dots on a pet. Could get the dots on a hunter. He just needs a couple more, and the hunter is going to go down. Flame check getting set up, but hunter is super far behind her health. There's no way for them to come back with a drained soul. As Naze is trying to play something different. Necrolord with a drained soul. It's an interesting setup. Senretsu is going to be up next. Trying to see if he might be able to get a setup versus Naze. At this high dampening, it's going to be like whoever pops burst cooldowns first wins. BDB down. Naze, unless he got a trigger for this one, he doesn't. Wall and a dark pack might not be enough here. More to call into Senretsu, but the images should be able to finish him off. Naze actually barely alive at no health whatsoever. Might be able to at least get some dots into Senretsu. Might be able to soften him up for Arhi at the best that he could do. And Arhi is going to be the last one at this high dampening. Arhi's like, you can just see the frustration on this man's face. He doesn't want to play in high dampening. He really doesn't want to do it. He just looks unamused. He's like, I gotta play against who? At how much dampening? Oh my goodness. Sunretsu, try to see if they might be able to. I like your Mog, by the way. For a guy named Sunretsu, you got a very sunny looking Mog. Everything is yellow, everything is bright. You got yourself a nice bright rise and shine tabard. You got yourself the shoulders that have like a very like a sun-like effect to them. Even your weapon has an effect that has an extra bonus glow about it. Like, what is this? It's like, good morning, the monk. Basically, good morning. I got a Lexi for you. Big damage out of the monk. Ari might be in trouble. And that's high dampening. There's nothing you can do. Yeah, that's high dampening. Even if you pop wall, you literally pop wall against the monk, you still die anyway. It's ridiculous. What is going on? We gotta go again, dude. We can't let Arhi just go into such a high dampening game. Also, Naze needs to get another chance in there, man. Dude, that warrior wanted that mage dead. He was going to do everything in his power in order to make it happen. Taxi ready to go. Let's get your guy back. Actually, Taxi just got to play cap. We got to get you in. Gotta get Calf in here. Anton and Sentry, do you guys want to go again? Because I can get you guys back in here. Because you and Tags already played each other, but Calf and you guys haven't. Calf, let me know if you got a team ready to go, my guy. You're down by Monk. It's a good fight. Yeah. Yeah, and this like dampening for enhanced with Shaman chat. It's just so tough, man. It's just so tough. Nemi, do you have a group? We have a group already. Wait, it's a separate group altogether? Nemi, are you in a whole nother group? Is that what's going on? Had one leave, grab another. We have 3 rogues, all different specs. Okay, Cap, I'm fine with that. We have a SAS, subtlety, and outlaw. I think Don and Cap has to go, but Nemi, do you have a group? Wait, separate one? Wait, you and Tags are gonna play each other then. So I think we're gonna do Don and Cap because I wanted for Sentry and Archie and his team to go again. Just because I feel like after that major game, they need a palate cleanser. Nemi is ready though, so do we do Don and... Or do we do Nemi next? I don't even know who. I think I'm gonna stick with my plan. I'm gonna stick with my plan, Don and Calf. And then we get Nemi versus Tagsy immediately. Nemi and Tagsy, you guys on standby? This duel is gonna take 5 minutes. It's gonna be Archie walking in, chewing these boys, spitting them out, and we get back to you guys immediately, yeah? Ready? Okay, let me know if I need to requeue. Jaspective is a very creative name, thank you. I like it a lot. It's on an RP server. I used to have a Wolf Slayer XD on a warrior, and apparently that got reported. So I called him Elon Husk. If I got to list try again, yeah. I'm gonna have to queue Calf and answer Badon a couple of times in a row, boys. So just keep pressing a set. The queue is good. We gotta have to break. Like, never mind, it worked. Normally, when you have somebody listed in LG and we queue you guys up, you have to requeue multiple times over and over and over, and then eventually it works out. It just fixes itself, because sometimes it bugs out. Yo, man, thanks for the stream. Love that. What's up, Leon? I know, my man. Hope you're having a good one. Leon, you want to join us for duels? You're more than welcome to, my guy. You're more than welcome to with everybody. Deserve silence? I think so. Need another for Ally Beggars group? Let's go, boys. Yeah, if you guys got a group, feel free to let him know in the chat. A lot of you are looking for groups, but don't really want to make a group, so let him know in the chat that you got one. Alliance, Horde, EU. What's up, bro? What's up, G? I know, man. Hope you're having good, my guy. Hope you're having good, my dude. What kind of fast forward this? You can gaming if you wait 30 minutes. If you press pause and wait 30 minutes, you can fast forward it. How you doing, by the way? Hope you have a good one. Hope you're all good. Dude, I'm doing fantastic. How are you, my guy? I'm always to get a little hoarse, but I'm loving these duels, man. I'm having a good time. Needs more rogues. Well, at least one of them is an outlaw, so at least it kind of will play. Then maybe sort of kind of possibly will play differently. Okay? Alright. Switch. Now we got 3 rogues over in team 1, but at least one of them is an outlaw rogue. Not this one. This one. We got Dirks, we got ourselves Fastest, we got ourselves Fenney in the back, we got ourselves huge butt man. Oh, no more cloak. Oh, you do have a huge butt. Well, now it's confirmed. Chat, rate the butt out of 10. How well does his name fit him? Yeah or nay? Lava Burst getting set up by the Shaman, trying to see if it gives us a big old damage back-to-back Antobadan with an AMS, trying to see if it might be able to survive this burst, and it's going to be huge. Here's a pop every defense under roll, might be a big trouble, got some mobility while casting, but it's going to be huge damage out of the DK, and oh! As the fire alley rolled out, this man went down. I do like his mug though. Also, oh my god, they literally stuck that boy's head in Tombstone. What is going on? Fenney gonna be up next, trying to go for a bit of an honor duel versus Anton. Giving him a little bit of like a, hey, I'm gonna be dueling you next. Quick Hodge onto Anton. As this man is gonna have to go for an IBFC, and the cooldown's coming out of Fenney. Well, the commitment coming in. That's gonna be quick. Aegis, in order to reduce a lot of that holy damage versus Fenney, wants to go for as much crowd control as possible. The Death Knight, while not the fastest class in the game, does have a lot of mobility denial with the chain of ice, so if anything can slow down the target, stun of Fenney, going to be forced out of trinket. It's going to be normal trinket, not a human Rachel. It's going to be Anton rolling in with a full army of the dead. It's going to be A-bomb joining in with a whole full dark transformation pet. Could have a lot of setup versus Fenney. It's going to be someone grenade trinket. I'm not even sure who's. Fenney in a lot of trouble. Could potentially bubble out of this. Is that going to be potentially an execute setting on Fenney? If they do have a Soul Reaper on him, they better be extra careful. That Soul Reaper can be surprising amount of burst damage out of nowhere, especially if you keep yourself low. Bubble out of Fenney. It looks like Anton was able to force that quite a lot out of the Paladin. Needs to find a way to escape, get himself a bit of a reset. It looks like maybe sacrifices the pet of his own just to... Oh no, he didn't. I thought just sacrificed the ghoul, but he's kind of like stuck in the bushes. Dude, that ghoul actually hides in bushes so well. They're literally just like ghoul high. If he goes in there, he just disappears. He blends in so well. Anton trying to keep the slows on the Fenney as best as possible. Flash of light to follow. And Anton got himself a couple of death glows back to back versus Fenney. Chain of ice to keep him slowed. That's going to be Swarm joining in, biting and nipping at Fenney, setting up for even more pet damage as Anton could empower the pet with Dark Transformation, get himself a little bit more value damage. It's going to be big damage for Fenney. That's going to stun into that pet. Is that potentially an executor to Fenney? Blessing of Protection might not be enough to save you. And still lots of shadow damage and just continue to claw right through your armor. It looks like maybe that was a Soul Reaper consuming their soul. It looks like maybe Beggar's up next. Already getting attacked by the pets. It looks like Anton pulled the pets back. He was at first thinking that, okay, maybe I'm fighting Beggar. Wait, I'm not fighting Beggar. Pulled his pets back. He had all that momentum. Decided, you know what? I'm gonna keep the Duel fair. I want to keep the Duel honorable. I'm gonna sacrifice my big damage burst to find out if I'm actually fighting Beggar or not. And you gotta give him credit for that. Looks like it is Beggar going next. As the Kevin Slime continues to spit at him. Beggar, you have a Kevin Slime that's going to be spinning you for a while. But looks like he's given an opportunity to at least go for a full reset. The ghoul is getting sent in, does get himself a reset, and now we have ourselves a proper duel. I do appreciate the fact that the Death Knight decided to sacrifice their burst, their momentum, in order to just have an honor duel. I think it's very, very honorable. Quick to summon to Beggar. With the Dark Transformation, that's going to be Beggar trying to keep that outlaw damage rolling in, playing that Kyrian, so got a lot of sustain and lots of cooldowns. Stunning to Beggar to follow. Do they have the execute rolling on him? Unless they click a shadows, they got that execute Soul Reaper, that could still be in trouble. Vanish? Do they still have a Soul Reaper? I don't think they do. It's so difficult to tell what Soul Reaper looks like. I keep thinking it's like a blue little like puff of smoke on the enemy. And I keep thinking, oh, Soul Reaper, maybe? Because if they have Soul Reaper, they don't cloak it. And it takes even in stealth. I mean, it's over. That thing could do a lot of damage. Gonna be eyes picked up for Anton. Trying to deny Beggar a kind of reset. But looks like Beggar is able to stealth away. It's gonna be A-Bomb joining in, just adding a little bit extra dot pressure, dot stink. While Beggar's hanging out behind the card. Anton tried to use the Chain of Ice to slow Beggar down, but you can't slow down now, Rogue. Look, shot is from Beggar in case there's a lot of damage. Got himself big cleave, so potentially could cleave down the pets while he's at it. Evasion with the disarm versus Anton as he got himself Chain of Ice, just trying to waddle away from the Rogue as best as he can, but you can't really do it because he's got pistol shots, he got that extra needle arms range, but still Beggar might be down for the count. Anton got pressure, cheat death as the Rogue tried to get away, and I think that was a Soul Reaper just now. That was, you can see the gold that spawned in. Every time the Soul Reaper procs or he applies it, I think that's when the ghoul spawns in. Or I could be wrong completely. Maybe I'm wrong actually. Maybe somebody else spawns in the ghoul. But that's gonna be Dirk's up next as a sub rogue versus Anton, who's just crunching through these boys. Stunner to Anton, the pet is joining in, trick it out of the Death Knight, stunner to Dirks. Dirks actually gives him super low in health. That's gonna be a shadowy duel. That doesn't really know if that's gonna help him much. It's gonna be evasion to follow Anton, popping every defense in the world. Cloak of shadows by the rogue as he got himself a reset. Anton recovering all that health, sacrificing the pet, needs to summon a new one immediately. As the army of the dead surrounds him, looking to pick up a quick eyeball just to keep himself rolling versus Dirks. Dirks hanging out by the tombstone, hugging it very, very closely. This is where Anton could send the pet just to figure out where Dirks is. He's still mounted, hoping that he might be able to find him around the corner. Does he realize where Dirks could be? There's only one place he hasn't checked, and that's this tombstone. I think he has an inkling, like I think he's maybe by a kind of tombstone, but I can't quite see him. Go Fleshka for Anton, gets instructed by Dirks. Dirks denied himself the proper stealthy opener, but that's going to be A-Bomb joining in. That's going to be the pet staying onto Dirks. It's going to be Dirks getting next to the A-Bomb. ABM getting used as Dirks dropping down the grenade trick. A stun onto Dirks could be big, big trouble. Does this rogue go down here? Is that going to be enough damage? Dirks that's going to really low health. Got himself a sippy cup. Barely any health. Got himself a stealth shield for a second, but looks like the dots are going to get him out. And that's going to be Death and Decay, keeping Dirks in combat. Will not be able to get himself a proper, clean reset. As the Chain of Ice comes out, the pet joins in. It's going to be Dirks trying to see if he can backstab the pet and maybe get himself another proper rose to pick up, maybe the Kirin Sippy. But he's definitely denied any kind of stealth. If that pet track transforms right now, this could be over. Dirks had no help whatsoever. It does get cleaved down with an apocalypse. And Fastest is the last one left. So far, Anton done. Look at this man. He literally just popped army. He could just rush this rogue down. Fastest trying to go for a bit of an honor duel. And Anton wants to be as respectful as possible. He could take the opportunity. He could take the advantage. There's nothing in the rulebook of 5V5 1v1 DUELS that we have that says you cannot attack the person immediately. They're out in the open. You just slayed the guy in front of you. You can attack Fastest. but he wanted to give him the honor duel. And you gotta give that man commitment. You gotta give him credit. Disarmament to Anton. Let's go for a Lichborn and a bunch of death claws in order to keep himself alive. Dark transformation for the pet. Fastest with the Cloak of Shadows. Could go for a big vendetta setup. He needs to make the play here right now if possible. Vanish as he dips real low. Probably better safe than sorry. Better check it out and vanish. Better get out of there scot-free immediately. Keep yourself alive. No point of throwing your life away. You got one big go that you can set up for the answer but done. Sap onto the Death Knight. It looks like he does go for a Chain of Ice. I think maybe there's the dot roll on him. Big sepsis onto the Death Knight. The Rogue has nothing left. That's going to be cheat death. That's going to be a seed pot. It looks like Andrew Badon was just able to take the guy out, just swiping him out. Oh my goodness. This unholy DK with a 1v5. That would be 1v5, but that's a seed pot kill at the end, which doesn't count towards it. But Anton just stomping all over these boys. Oh, there it is. Just waddling over them, clawing them down, dude. And he gave him, a lot of them, an honor duel opportunity. He gave every single one an opportunity. It was like, hey, you need to cooldowns? Did you get a setup? All that stuff? You can get the opener, all that jazz. Just give him the honor duel. And a quick 1-2, 1-2. That was beautiful. Let's get another going, boys, yeah? Taxi, Nami, let me know if you guys are ready. We gotta get a Sentry in here as soon as possible. Definitely gotta get Sentry and Achibot down here as fast as we can. 4 slots on Alliance, bro. Fenney, so you need a +1, right? So Calf, Fenney, 4 slots on Alliance. Are you taking over for Calf? Is that what's going on? Okay, so Fenney got a separate group, but it looks like Calf got a group, Fenney got a group, Achibot down, or maybe Sentry's taking over. Taxi, Nami, let me know if you guys are ready. You guys gotta be up next, or you're supposed to be up next. A really OP GK? Q. I know Taxi, I'm ready to go, my guy. Nami! They have a group, my guy! Gap with lost 2. That's all good. Sentry with a +1. Antibodon is ready. So Fenney looks like he made a whole nother group. Let's go. Alright, Nemi's ready. That's what I was trying to figure out, if Nemi is ready. We gotta get Taxi and Nemi in here. Nemi, Losardi, and Taxi. Yo, we gotta get Taxi some more games, man. His team usually has been like, it really came down to the mage taking a lot of the spotlight. Taxi had like one really good setup versus another Warlock versus an Advo. They did really well, but it's like you kind of want to like, want to shade as many wins as you can possibly. You know what I mean? Up for 1v1 with the DK main. Yeah, you're more than welcome to Dirks if you want to do it at some point. Maybe towards the end of the stream, if the Antibodon wants to go for it. I'd be down. He wasted that vanish, man, and he's cloaked without it. Could have easily reset the fight twice. I think so. What's up, Brandon? How you doing, my guy? Hope you're having a good one. Wacky, how you doing, my man? Black, how you doing, my guy? Greetings hello from Germany. What's up? What's up from my name, my man? Noki. Antoha Mosh, da, Antoha Niploha. It's like Anto strong. Anto big. He's jacked. I like it. I love it. It's not like a perfect translation, but it would be the closest, the best translation you could have. It's just funny to me. It's like the way you'd say it in Russian. He's jacked. It's so good. I love it. I don't know why. It makes you laugh. I'm Advo. Forgot to change spec. You're good, my guy. Yo, we get another chance. Don't worry about it. You will definitely get another chance, Advo. Twitch. We got ourselves Orkan getting blasted out by Lone. It looks like Orkan is going to be able to survive. That's going to be full burst, convoke, everything out of Lone with a resolve trigger. Oh! I thought it was going to survive it, but a full feral druid with a resolve trinket, immune to crowd control, convoking full bleed. Absolutely did not give that boy a chance at all. This warrior did the very best he could pop every cooldown, but all those bleeds in the face of all those things is just tough. And Sulfur get a hit up with a couple bleeds and a root immediately as Lewin is going to go and try to see if he can bleed him out. Wow. Well, that was fast. Yeah, the feral druids, man. We had a lot of feral druids last week too. Like a ton of them. I was looking through the footages. I'm like, man, we got a lot of cats on both NA and EU. It was not like in a bad way, but it was a ridiculous amount of how many ferals we got. Like Alonia and, oh my god, Papa Come Back. I mean, and then also NA. I forget the dudes that were in the NA. And then we had, I think maybe it was another feral in the EU. Stealth Kitty? But dude, they were popping off, man. Ferals are disgustingly good on 1v1s. And Lon showing us without resolve, convoke, everything, like you can just really cheese somebody down. Sulfur with a full combustion, trying to see if he can singe the fur. Sulfur with a bear from Barksy, just trying to play as defensive as possible. I wonder if this man is playing the defensive legendary. With the Omen, potentially? No, I don't think they are. I would think we would have seen another Frenzied Regeneration, giving him a little bit of survivability. Lone finds himself a super low health, does get himself a big heal. Looks like it might have been a Warlike Hellstorm from Facile, trying to see if he can keep himself alive. There's going to be still lots of damage from someone, trying to see if he can actually get Lone down. But it looks like he has to blink in. Interrupting Lone, does not play Necrolord, so he doesn't have the flesh cut to help him back up. Bash onto Sulfur, maybe a Cyclone. Looks like Sulfur, I think maybe blinked in order to try to see if he can get out of the Bash. Quick Ring of Frost of the G-Pie. Take Lone down, doesn't give him a chance. Get a cheese down by the Feral, and the Feral got kind of sort of cheesed down by the Ring of Frost. Is that cheese? Is that cheese though? But is it though? I think it may be a little bit. Cheese for cheese. Woden is going to be up next. I don't know why I call it Wooden. I like your Mog, by the way. I know you can't really see it, but I do remember seeing a Mog. And I do remember thinking, like, I like it. Woden trying to go for a bit of a setup around the corner with a grenade and a flame shot onto Sulfur. Getting the pet up in there. Might be maybe opportunity for a Master's Call or Sacrifice. Roar Sack might be better. Woden taking a lot of damage out of this mage already. Might just have to use whatever he can defensively. Looks like he's going to back up for a second. That's going to be Exhilaration just to give himself a lot of bit of survivability. Sulfur with his shift and power behind the pillar. It's going to give himself a lot of defenses and a lot of aggression. Also crowd control. Traps to get it set up around the corners. Woden trying to see if he can reestablish the control on the mage. That's going to be yet another flame shot. The skill shots could be deadly. It's going to set himself an opportunity where at least he's in the middle of the Ring of Frost, but definitely needs to go feign death for that next G-Pie. He's continuing to get damage out, but let's see, he's just going to jump for it. Woden got himself Turtle Shell. I don't know if this man is playing Craven. Does he burn out? To the fire, doesn't, barely surviving it on like 1 health. Manic manages to help him recover, and Sulfur trying to see if he can get aggressive. Freezing trap around the corner, doesn't quite connect, and Sulfur continues to get killed, hit by kill shots, but that's going to be Pyro Blast out of combustion. Doesn't want to give this Hunter an opportunity to escape. Was there no Craven stratagem mode in? Would you end up playing? I feel like we haven't seen a single Hunter tonight playing Craven. Is that like some kind of a new build that Hunters are playing now? Maybe they are playing that aspect cooldown reduction legendary. Who knows? Facile just trying to see if he can load up full army of demons versus Sulfur, and Sulfur just avoided him completely. It looks like the pets are all just making a single file line and just following like ducks, following Mama Duck Sulfur. What is going on? All these pets just like kind of following you around, just like waddling. Facile DC'd? Uh-oh. Hold on, can you give him an opportunity to come back? Maybe? Facile. Is he back? Wait, Facile's moving? Facile's back? At least, oh man, Sulfur does not really give you that much of a chance to return, but looks like at least you came back. I don't know what happened with the DC, but I wondered why your pet's like so weird. I wonder if your pet's bugged out because of DC, because normally the Tyrant would start blasting. But also we know that the Tyrant is not the smartest pet in the world. He's not the smartest, not the sharpest tool in the shed. Sometimes the Tyrant just does some of the biggest plays, he just absolutely blasts people out, and other times he just waddles after people trying to give him a hug. You really don't know what he's thinking. Fellor joining in as going to be Sulfur blinking away from the Fellor, trying to avoid the knockdown. It's going to be a quick poly with a G-Pie loading up versus Facile, who's going to avoid the freeze from the Ring of Frost with a Resolve Trick. He got himself the Dark Pact in order to keep himself rolling. Shift the power up for Sulfur, trying to go for Shadow Fear around the corner. It doesn't quite connect, and Sulfur just trying to stay away from Facile as best as possible. Facile just needs a small line of sight of Sulfur. He needs to get the pets up and running, just to establish a, establish a obelisk in order to increase the value of the pets. Looks like that Interrupt is actually going to kind of mess with the CC of Sulfur. Does get a really long polymer from Facile. Combustion rolling in. Walls up from Facile. Trying to land a fear onto Sulfur. Does connect without fear. And just trying to drain life in order to catch up on health a little bit, but still under a ton of pressure. Super low on health. Sulfur has a pretty big advantage. Got himself the alter time to get himself in a better position. Stun onto the mage. Does have a blink out of it. Breath onto Facile with a Ring of Fire. Does get interrupted with a second stun. Tyrant joining in. That's going to be the obelisk coming down. That's going to be Sulfur actually getting blasted out by the Tyrant for a second until the Ring of Fire does disrupt the Facile, taking a lot of the fire damage. Mortal Coil just to give himself a little bit of survivability. That's going to be interrupted on the fear. Cannot go for drain life just yet. He's interrupted for a long while, and that Pyroblast is gonna end up taking him out. He got interrupted for how long? Nas is going to be up next. Try to see if you can get a bit nasty with Sulfur. Quick breath and by the mage is going to try to see if he can dip away. Polymorph into Nas does not really have a way to stop it. Actually, looks like the pen does break out of the ruin last second with an interrupt and a stun to follow. Sulfur taking a lot of damage from these pets all the time. Is going to have to use it way early. Might be an ice block here. Could potentially be an ice block with the army of the dead closing in. Flash count up for Nas, so making sure that he is as healthy as possible. Actually immune to CC for a short time. So Sulfur needs to delay the breath until a little bit later. Poly into Nas yet again. The pets are CC'd for a moment. He is going to go for a trinket interrupt, trying to keep himself aggressive versus Sulfur. And Sulfur somehow surviving that whole burst out of the Unholy Death Knight. I'm actually amazed. Nas has tried not to give him any kind of opportunity to recover whatsoever. The swarm joining in, surrounding the Death Knight, slowly biting and chewing away at Sulfur, trying to create opening wounds so when the armies of the undead starts clawing at him, it becomes even more painful than before, because the swarm does make you do more damage than just adding the flavor. Combustion up, Sulfur taking a lot of damage. Is going to be the ice bucket as he sees the full burst out of Nas. Decides, you know what? I got a full combustion rolling, but I got to cool off for a bit. Put myself on ice. Get a bit of a reset. The pet gets to join in with the dark transformation. Could potentially go for an interrupt with the stone to Sulfur. That's going to be G-Pie. Definitely going to get interrupted. Could still load up another G-Pie. I think he might still have enough time here. Is it possible? Maybe a stun by the pet. Ring of Fire to follow. Nas is going to take a lot of damage from the G-Pie. Ring of Fire never got to complete his cast. Shift the power is going to get interrupted. Sulfur has the opportunity to cast as much fire damage into Nas as much as he wants to. A-Bomb joining in. That's going to add to a little bit extra damage versus Sulfur. Sulfur has ult time in order to put himself back up to a high-end health. Blink it away. Is he too far away from the ult time? No, he's not. I thought for a second maybe he might be. Because I know if you get too far away, you're not going to get any value. Nas going for interrupt versus Sulfur as they try to go for Ring of Frost. Breath onto Nas, potential Ring of Frost does connect. It is going to freeze a lot of the pets. It looks like Nas never gets to see that Ring of Frost finish. Stun onto Sulfur, blink it away. Didn't go far, but at least broke out of the feet about a stun. It is at least going to be able to CC the pets. Nas going to hit with a Frost. Potential Sulfur could sneak up around the corner and go for the G-Buy. That's exactly what they're going to go for. With the Ring of Fire potentially establish itself. Nas is going to take a lot of the Ring of Fire damage. AMS is up. Sulfur could be in big trouble. Does have cauterize in case things go bad. Does Nas establish himself that execute burst for his seer set? Because if you can do it, a Sulfur gets a cauterize, it could be in big trouble. Does interrupt him. Sulfur, do you have any mobility and survivability at all? Does he have a blink with a shield? That's going to be potentially, I think, the Soul Reaper trying to check on him. Sulfur trying to see if he can dive into Cell. Breath onto Nas. Poly, does he get interrupted on it? Looks like it's going to be tricking out of Nas. Try to repoly him again. Going to be interrupted on that. Sulfur could potentially just go for combustion. Just try to see if he can load up Nas full of damage. Human Rachel's out of the CC. That's a running for the pets. I think it's over. Blink it away. Got himself a shield last second. Needs to know these pets out for himself if possible. Just try to do whatever damage they can to those pets. Maybe to get him off his back at some point. Sulfur with no health whatsoever does get himself a small shield, more mobility, no health whatsoever. I don't know how you survive it. Does get himself a blink in order to reestablish his shield yet again. I think at some point you just gotta go for a big combustion. Poly onto the Death Knight. I think at this point you just gotta go. That or rerun. But can you? Blink it away? Does not have invis. Sitting down for food, maybe gets a tick or two. You're recovering a little bit of food. Wait, do they maybe have a chance? They recovered a little bit of health. Nas going for Dark Transformation while the pet is CC'd. Ulti time is up for Sulfur. I think maybe going to cancel that ulti time, yeah? If they don't, they're going to put himself back in the clutches of the Death Knight. That's exactly what they're going to do. As Nas is fully recovered, this Death Knight has all the opportunity to take down this mage. It's really up to this mage to try to see if they can find a thin thread that might let him make a rope out of this thin thread and escape out of the clutches of this monster Death Knight. Try to go for G-Pie. Line of sight? Line of sight does not prevent the G-Pie from going off. This is going to be stunned into the mage. Going to go for a blink combustion stuff. Doing as much damage as possible. Is that going to be everything they got? I don't know if they got mobility, survivability, or what. It's going to be breath. Gripped by the Death Knight. I think it's over for Sulfur. Tried their very best, but at the end, like, what can you really do against this Death Knight? That's absolutely nothing. Sunretsu is going to be up next. His full grippy hand coming out by the Death Knight. Just trying to take this momentum onto Sunretsu right after. This is going to be Naz getting hit with a quick in-cap. The Pets is swinging around the corner. The Skulker trying to add towards that damage. The Abomination around the corner just going to continue adding him more pressure. AMS up with a Naz. Could go for an IBF here if he wants to. But if you're locking him out, could be in back trouble. That's going to be, oh, big defenses coming out. Had a lot of damage from Sunretsu. Lord charging out. Add the Monk. Lex Sweep is going to clothesline him. Got himself in Rich Regeneration. Immediately few onto Sunretsu. Got himself the full banner rolling. Sunretsu, unless he can escape out of this one, could potentially be a trick out. Lord does not have a trinket anymore. Disarmed. Can't really go anywhere. Try to see if he can catch back up to Sunretsu. Just needs a couple more crushing blows and he might be able to do it. Fist of Fury stop it in place for just a second here. But he's still able to get some damage in through the Fist of Fury somehow. I don't even know what. Blaster for Lord just spinning in. Does he have enough damage here? In-cap breaks out of it. Flush kept interrupted immediately. Sunretsu. There's no way he survives. There's no way this Monk. Oh, no way. But Taxi loaded him up full of dots. Derma hanging on himself. Hopefully he doesn't get whirlwinded out. And he might still be. Loaded up, full of UAs, Agony's Corruption. Lord got a limited amount of time he can really spend fighting Taxi. My goodness. My man. That was a good duel between Sulfur and the Death Knight, man. That was a clutch. And honestly, I don't know how a mage wins that one at this late. Maybe if like dampening wasn't that high. I feel like it might be possible. It's coming out to here. Lord fighting against a class with a lot of mobility and dots, as he got like no healing at all at 45% dampening. Yeah, it's just one of those situations where it's like, I don't think he can win. Aegis is going to give him a little bit of survivability. Unless he started beating up on the rogue and started, you know, bloodthirsting off of him. I don't know if Lord survives it. I mean, maybe he'll surprise us. Does get himself an independent victory versus Taxi. Fleshcut is getting applied. Taxi is nowhere near to be able to interrupt it. And Lord does recover himself a little bit of health. Taxi trying to make sure there's a good line of sight so he can at least load up some dots on the warrior before he really gets to reconnect with Taxi. Blazer to free himself for a second. That's going to be in Rage Gen. Got himself reflect in case there's going to be more to coil by Taxi. Drain life and is doing a lot of damage to Lord. I think it's just over unless Lord gives himself big healing in Rage Gen. Wait a second. Is this warrior? Is he going to make us believe? Try to go for a pummel versus Taxi. Couldn't quite do it. Taxi was full dot stun onto Lord. And a drain. I think it's over. Yeah. I try to believe. I love your Mog, by the way. I think it's a fantastic set. I wish you gotten those shoulders back in the day. They look amazing. Yo, Sulfur with 3? I didn't even realize. A lot of damage with these two boys in there anyway. The Monk, I mean, not the Monk, but the Death Knight and the Mage. Lots of damage with those two. Alright, boys. Let's get another up and running. Yeah, yo, Sentry's ready. Let's go, boys. Yo, let's go. Yo, Fenney, do you have a group? Taxi and Nemi just get to play. Antobadon is on the same team as Sentry. He says he's ready. He says go. It looks like row, but I think it's go. Put us again. One of those with no DC. Yo, Nemi, I could probably do that. Is Fenney got a group? Because Fenney, they also were putting a group together. Fenney, how's your group looking? 5, Taxi is ready. Nemi is ready. Nemi wants to go again because they had a DC. I'm not against giving him an opportunity to give him another go because that team has a lot of new people in there. Antobadon is ready. Fenney, Calf, you guys got groups? Or are you still like trying to form? Because I could do Nemi versus Sentry and then keep Taxi on standby right after. Fenney ready? So let's go. Let's do Fenney. Right? Let's do Fenney. Just so we could get a bit of variety. Fenney versus Sentry. Because Sentry been waiting. Sentry. I'm with Fenney. Okay. Or Antobadon. Antobadon. Nemi, you're next. I don't know who we're gonna put you up against. I'll try to give you guys the variety, but you're going next immediately. Definitely going to go next. Taxi, you'll be on standby. Maybe we'll have you and Nemi go again against each other. I do want to separate you guys to give you a variety. I want Team Taxi and Team Nemi to play different kinds of people. I want Nemi to play against playing against Sentry right now. Oh no, Sentry's playing against Fenney. I wanted to play against Sentry. I wanted to play against Antobadon's team. I'm confusing myself and everybody here. I want to name his team. The guys that just had a DC. With a Warlock. Facile. I wanted to play against Team Sentry and Antobadon. The Russian boys. I wanted to play versus Fenney and the Team Alliance. Because Team Taxi already played. And I also want Taxi to get another go versus Arhim. I think that'll be really fun to watch. Also, Taxi and Fenney gotta play each other again. Because Beggar and Fenney, their teams collided together before. At one places. And they gotta go again. They gotta get a rematch in there. Yeah, Monks and Rogues can choose that fight, especially Warrior and Paladin. Yeah, they definitely can. I mean, Old Classic can. Yeah, subdued ability Pharaoh's a bit stronger due to limited movement and better self-healing. It is very, very good. It is very strong. You see how to start to play perfect? Yeah, I know, right, Demi? It's We'll definitely give you guys another go. Nami has to play again because that was a DC. And I don't want them to have a bad experience with that one game. I want them to have a good experience. I want you guys to have as many games as possible. In fact, Chad, I'll be down to play a little bit longer if you guys want to keep playing tonight. I'm down. Sorry I'm wasting your time talking. We got a duel going through Twitch. So we'll get up and running out. Adva going to be first up versus... It looks like Huge Buttman over on the Team 2. Team 2 got Fenney as a Retribution Paladin. We got ourselves Naya as a Retribution Paladin as well. I love that mod. We got ourselves Beggar in the back. Under the wing of the dragon, we got ourselves Lirale. That's all I got like the name. And now we're gonna be first up over Team 1 versus Huge Buttman. As he got himself the army. Well, of demons rolling in versus the shaman. Quick lasso on the Adva as Huge trying to see if he can dive away from these pets, avoiding the tyrant as well as the warlock as best as he can, while the obelisk is empowering all these pets, giving him faster auto attack speed and faster casting if the tyrant ever gets to catch up. Huge Testament both setting up around Huge Buttman around the corner, hand to go down to follow. Average just to give himself a little bit more pets, a little bit more damage. You get a couple of those big demon bolts. After the demon doggers jump in, they do put a dread bite onto Huge, make it take more damage from Shadow Flame damage. And Adva just needs to get a couple more of those demon bolts in there. Especially if they get him as an instant cast. He's gonna send out a demon bolt at the totem. I don't think they should have done that. I feel like that's basically like consuming way too much damage into that totem for the Lego you're running. Earth Elemental joining in for Huge as he does go for a thunderstorm. It's gonna be Adva trying to go for a quick banish on the pet. Can the pet still provide bugs? If it's banished, I actually never really noticed. If it can or can't, Huge Buttman does go for an interrupt that gives Adva opportunity to catch up with the Fleshcraft as Huge trying to see if he can Earthshock it down. Can't quite do it just yet. Adva's gonna hold onto the shield for a while. Fresh haircut? Yeah. Definitely. You like it? What do you think? I want to go for a proper fade next time. This just got it short on the sides and the back. But I don't want to go for a proper fade next time. It did fade a little bit. Decimated bolt loaded up around the corner as a stun onto Huge Buttman locks him down for a minute. The shaman is under a bit of pressure, but he might still be able to do it. Look at this man. He's got a dad haircut. He got the dad bod. He got the dad strength, man. You know what I mean? It's like a strength of a it's like a strength of like an orangutan strength, dude. That dad strength is just on another level. There's like a buff man, there's Adonis, there's the Titans, they're pretty strong, and then there's the dad bod strength, man. You know what I mean? It's just on another level. Huge, taking a bit of damage, but he does give himself mobility while casting. Adva trying to see if he can maybe lock down and interrupt. Huge is going to be behind pillar with a lasso as one of the pets swings around the corner. Good go for an axe toss. Good go for the interrupt. That tyrant getting a lot of value damage. Fleshcraft for Huge as it got him some mobility, so he's got to be playing at many Soulbind. So I wonder if he got that AoE fear when he gets low. Maybe he's running another set of Soulbinds in general. I still want to figure out what kind of Lego this man is running, because I've seen people play the Ascendance Legendary with Lava Burst, and it's really fun. But it's like kind of difficult to set up, and I think the Stormkeeper basically says it all. I don't think he's playing that build. Decimate Bolt getting loaded up. If Adva can get a Demon Doggo in there to Dread Bite a Huge Buttman, it'll debuff him to make him take more Shadow Flame damage. It will give Adva opportunity to get some big damage in there, as long as he can sacrifice a couple of imps to empower his hits even harder. And could have himself some big one-shot opportunity. Demon Bolt's doing a lot of damage. The Dread Bite comes out. Does he have any more Demon Bolts to follow? That's going to be the Resolve Trinket versus Huge Buttman. I think he's the one dropping down to Adva. Somebody dropped down that trinket. I'm not sure who it was. Was that the Warlock or was it the Shaman? Quick fear onto Huge, as Adva's just looking for a little bit of a reset. I know what I've noticed. Adva is trying to go for some Demon Bolts, and they haven't been the hardest hitting Demon Bolts I've seen. Maybe he'll be able to do something here. Sacrifices the pets. Maybe this is going to be the big one. Potentially this is going to be the huge ones. 1, 2. They really nerfed those things quite a bit, but they still do a lot of damage. And the Grounding Totem. I forget that Shaman gets Grounding Totem. Maybe that's why a lot of those Demon Bolts don't do damage, because he always makes sure to drop the Grounding Totem next to him. Is this a Demon Bolt? He's expecting big damage, and Adva just has to take down the Grounding Totem. Or at least the Grounding Totem is going to redirect those things to it every single time. Huge. Trying to keep the pressure on the Advo. Light and Lasso is up. Is not going to go for the Axe Toss to interrupt with the pets. I think maybe trying to use the Axe Toss for when he has the Tyrant and full damage and wants to lock down Huge. Maybe for that double stun. The Obelisk is down. Stun around the corner. Demonic Tyrant. Does he have another, maybe a pet to stun him as well? Mortal Coil, keep it in place. The Tyrant is doing lots of damage. Huge setup on a Huge. And I think my man might be dead. Trying to see if he gives him a little bit of healing. That's going to be grounding totem. Trying to keep him alive as best as possible. Big pet damage. Flash got 20% damage reduction. Trying to get in some big slapper damage. Big deal bolts to follow. I think this man might be down for the count. Still keeping himself alive. This man is actually just unkillable. This guy decided, you know what? Not today. I feel like playing the game a little bit longer. Rotated every defensive, grounding totem, flesh cat, everything, and just survived it like it was nothing. Man, this guy got survivability. Some of you guys said the LA Shaman doesn't really feel like a DPS. It feels like a support class. And in a way, I can kind of sort of see it. At least for Mythic Pluses, I know they have like a phase where they could do a ton of healing with one tile. And here's in PvP, he's just like became a restoration shaman for just a moment. I wonder if that's something we're going to see more in Dragonflight. Blizzard are trying to hybridize our talents even more. Because if you can do stuff like this now, imagine what you'll be able to do later. I think it is Huge that's running that, what is it called? Resonator Trinket, the Grenade Trinket. I was going to say, I wonder who is running that trinket, but I think it is him. I think it's him. I also noticed Advo is not running a Resolve Trinket. I wonder for what purpose. Maybe because you're an Orc, you just sit stuns less and you can have more control in your CC. And Resolve and Orc ratio will probably cancel each other out. That's probably why. Gonna be Huge. Trying to see if we can load up some kind of damage. This man needs to go for a full Stormkeeper. Everything. Fire Elemental join in. Could potentially give him the Lava Burst he needs in order to make something happen. Average is trying to avoid him. Has a full Tyrant. Ready to go. Light and Lasso is gonna go for the pet stun. Potentially gonna go for a Banish on the Fire Alley Fear onto Huge. With a Drain Life. Maybe go for the Tyrant here. That's Huge. Find himself away from any kind of pillars. Decimated Bolt get it set up with yet another Fear. Does Huge get himself maybe a pre-Tremor? If you can Tremor in between of those casts, it might be okay. It's gonna be Demon Dog is joining in. Another stun onto Huge. With a Tyrant to follow, it's gonna be all those pets around him with a Mortal Coil. The Tyrant does actually try to go for a cast, does have land inside. Huge could be in big trouble, does get blasted. Oh, and those pets do take him down with one last swing. Has a lot of that damage, ready to go. And looks like we actually lost somebody. Did we lose Beggar over on team 2? That's unfortunate. What do we got? Naya? Yo, well, that's unfortunate. Nay gonna be up next, trying to see if they might be able to get himself a setup versus a Beggar. Not sure what happened. Beggar. No, speaking of Beggar, not sure what happened. But Advo already forced a bubble out of Nay? What is going on? Nay, I say. Nay, I ain't dying today. Pop a bubble. Call it a day. Yo, Mortal Coil getting set up with Fear. Advo could potentially have a biggest Decimate Bolt set up on the Paladin. It looks like he's barely alive. Demon Bolts are gonna crack through the tough exterior that is that shield. One more Demon Bolt maybe getting loaded up. Use to sacrifice the same system as possible. Nate trying to see if he can go for a Flesh Count. No interrupt out of Advo. Demon Bolt still cracking right through it. I think the Pet should have a blind to the Pet. But the Paladin barely surviving this. Oh no. And the Demon Dog is due charge in. Advo taking these boys out. By the way, that was a long duel versus that Shaman. I didn't even realize 8 minutes went by that fast. Did not realize that at all, boys. Fenney up next with a Hand of Freedom. Ready to go versus Advo. Flesh Cut up for the Warlock. Trying to see if he can get himself set up. Banish onto that Kevin Slime, I believe. Because what can you really banish from a Paladin? Can't really banish the Pally themselves. Unless a Demon in Disguise. It's gonna be that Resolve Trinket down. The Grenade. As Fenney tried to see if he can maybe set up some kind of a go. I think, honestly, I'm starting to think it's Advo's Trinket. I'm starting to think that Resolve Trinket is Advo's Trinket now. I'm not sure if that's his trinket, but now I'm starting to think maybe that's what he is running, unless that's Fenney using it. Which I think Fenney does use that trinket though. I remember they used it against the Rogue once. Last week's duel. Which is a fantastic burst, by the way. It's just getting caught out of nowhere. It was like the Rogue is okay. Wings pop off, everything clear for Fenney. It looks like everything's screening for Advo as they summon up a full Tyrant. Mortal Coil to Fenney might just have to force a bubble. Is going to be a bubble. Advo forced out a lot of cooldowns there. 5-minute cooldown traded for the longest cooldown for Advo being, I think, maybe a 2-minute cooldown with that second Felguard. 1.5 minute CD on that Tyrant. And Advo is looking for maybe a different setup. versus Fenney. Those two pets are just blasting him out. Stun on all those pets with the Wake of Ashes as Fenney catches up with a full flesh scout. Needs to catch up to Adva. Adva going for that proactive board right before Fenney even catches up to him, trying to avoid the stun as well as the slows with a hand of hindrance from Fenney. And the Paladin's gonna have to mount back up and rush towards Adva. Adva actually trying to use that Kevin slime that Fenney spawns to maybe get himself set up a big decimating bolt. Stun onto Fenney. Setting up a decimating bolt. Blessing of protection. Fenney is still in trouble. Could be CC'd. Is gonna go for a Hydra to Adva. No way for the Warlock to deal with it except with the wall. Mortal Coil into Fenney. Trying to go for a couple of demon bolts is gonna be a fear into a bit of a drain. Needs to get himself up a full hand of Gul'dan and sacrifice some imps. If they can do that, then they'll have themselves the biggest decimating bolt possible. Fear onto Fenney. Still trying to go for drain life as Adva. Just trying to keep himself afloat here as best as possible. Big decimating bolt. I don't think he sacrificed the pets for that one, but it's gonna go for more hand to go down, sending out even more pets, spawning more demons in to keep the pressure, the sustained damage onto Fenney. As we head in that 10-minute mark, boys, 33% dampening. Adva actually has not a lot of defenses, but has a pretty big defense offensive. Fenney got nothing in defense except for a trinket, can maybe immune to CC. Or just break himself out of one. Gonna be a trinket for that stun. Adva might be in big trouble. I think it is actually maybe Fenney's trinket. There is a grenade trinket. Fear by Adva. Just trying to see if he can set up another decimating bolt. Maybe go for yet another fear versus Fenney. It's gonna be Demon Doggers joining in. Decimating bolt 1, decimating bolt 2. Gets Fenney super low. Third one does get around the corner. Potentially could be an injury either way. Fenney does go for a flash of light for a second, trying to avoid casting in front of Adva as best as they can. That's gonna be a Word of Glory usage for a lot of that holy power. It's going to be tricky for Adva as the stun comes out, dropping down the obelisk. Fenney, he locked out in the stun. It looks like Fenney just bails out as they see a turret coming out. They see the death before them and decide, you know what, I'm going to bail out. I already know how this story ends. Well, Lee Ray Lay going to be the last one left. I like your pets are all still blasting up Fenney, by the way. Like, they're dead. Just let him go. Let Fenney go. There we go. Super unfortunate, man. They just did not want to see how that ends, but they knew exactly what's going to happen. Lyra is going to be Lyra. Look how you Lyra is going to be up next. Got that Chimera. Oh, you got like a what does a Chimera do, chat? What does that pet do? Is that like a the tenacity pet with a mortal coil with a mortal strike effect? That might be the tanky pet with a mortal strike effect. I don't ever see them ever. I think maybe back in the alpha or beta, one of the PTRs, they added some that had a similar like a defense and a mortal strike, and I want to say maybe that's what the pet is. Lyra is going to get feared out into Guantanamo Bay. Does get long range kill shots though. Either way, that 40-yard range is no joke. As Lyra is going to try to see if they can avoid, without leave those demon doggers. They do avoid the animation, but I don't think they avoid the dread bite. Or maybe they do. Maybe they do separate. It's a tank pet with MS, yeah? Okay. I was gonna say for a second. It's one pet type you don't ever see. Normally we see raptors, usually undead raptors. Like a Raban type or raptor, or maybe one of those skeletal raptors. Because they're immune to fears, which actually against Adva might have been a perfect play. Because that is a warlock with fears. And having that pet immune to fear will probably be fantastic. Lyra does dive back into camo. It's going to be able to get a little bit of recovery as we're heading into that 13-minute mark, boys. 48% dampen and Shadow Fury behind Adva as the do get launched with a stun. Where's the pet at, actually? The pet does rush back over. Gladiator's Malediction is actually going to apply a small malediction effect towards Adva and necrotic and a portion of their health. Kill shots to follow with the Serpent Sting. Adva does get himself a big decimated bolt. Lyra could be in big trouble. Hannibal done join in with the fear onto Lyra yet again. Does go for a total shell before that fear connects. And Lyra wants to get as much damage as possible versus Adva. It's going to be a pet. Get a hit with a decimated bolt. Adva does have big demon bolts to follow. Lyra could still be in trouble. That is pretty big Felguards. Two big Felguards. Ready to strike. They're just not letting you heal at all. Lyra might be in trouble. I think it's over. Just like that. I think Adva only got to kill 4. Because we had 1 DC. And I think one of them was also just a leave in between. I mean, Adva didn't do bad at all. At all. Can we join do some more pro hider interconnect? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that about WAP. Sorry about that, my guy. Well, maybe they'll have it fixed by tomorrow. You never know, right? Hopefully, maybe, possibly. Yo, that's a tough one, man. I am so sad Bagger couldn't play that one. Let's get you guys another go. I think Sentry, Fenney, Nemi gotta play somebody. Maybe we could do Sentry and Nemi since they barely got to play. Tagsy, I know you're ready, but Tagsy and Nemi already played each other. Okay, Cal, do we have a group? Fenney, do we still have a group? Or is Fenney Dunsky? What's up, dude? Drop a like, my man. Yo, thanks so much, my guy, Jordan. Appreciate ya. 1v1, back to base. Poor people waiting for no reason. Yo, you should have seen the duel with Antibadan. Yeah, let everybody play a 1v1, man. Honestly, my dude, a lot of time, a lot of people didn't get to play. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people on that Warlock team didn't get to play. That's true. That's true. Yeah, at some point I'll be down to try those rule set. It'd be interesting to see how it works out. I feel like we'd miss out on the opportunity for somebody to go for a 1v5 duel. But still, yeah. Oh, puppies! Yo! Crazy got some puppies? Let's go! And Noir, you got a salamander? Yo! Look at that thing! It's a gecko! Oh, dude! Yo, we got a Discord? Feel free to post stuff in there, boys. We got a Discord. Join our Discord, by the way, if you guys haven't. Nemi is ready. Fenney got a +1. So, Fenney, I'm gonna get you versus Tagsy. I think we gotta hit Century versus Lord, too. Lord gotta play. Yo, Tagsy, your team is gonna be up next 100% versus Fenney. 100%. I gotta get Sentry and... Oh, man. Let's do that. Let's do Nemi in here, because Nemi got DC last time. So, Nemi and Sentry or Antibadan. And Nemi lost D 5. A quick duel. Nemi lost RDE. Is it Sentry that's lead or Antibadan that's still lead? NAMI. Nemi lost RDE. Yo, is Answer and Sentry, are you guys still ready? Or do you Sentry as the lead for that group? Real quick. Otherwise, look at Fenney and Tagsy. I do want to let Nemi play. Nemi gotta play. It's me Facile. I know it's you Facile. I would start typing the Nemi Lost RD just to make sure I get your name right, because when I typed it in, it says you have no target. So Sentry, Anton, is there a group? Tagsy? Yes, I'm gonna give Anton and Sentry an opportunity to... I don't know if they were ready, I don't know if the group fell apart or what happened. Yo, Anton or Sentry. Sentry was команда есть или что случилось? Я не могу это как бы вас queue. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because I did say, like, yo, Team Sentry barely get to play, it's only one Warlock got to play, and Nemi was also going to be on standby, like, yo, they got a DC, I want to give them an opportunity for a proper game. So they're like matched up, plus also Tags and Nemi played each other already, so I would want to give you guys variety. If we can't get Sentry and Nemi now, I'll do a quick Tags versus Fenney, and we'll come back to Sentry and Anton and Nemi. I think I'm gonna do that though. I'm not getting a response from the Russian boys just yet, or the Slavic boys, because a lot of them are not even like... It's more like the countries surrounding the area. But the reset part is true. It's extremely hard to get a free from a DK though. True. I don't disagree. We'll do a quick Tagsy versus Fenney, get them up and running, and then we'll see if the Slavic boys, the Hordy boys, are ready to go versus Nemi. Nemi, stick around. I'm definitely gonna have you play. You definitely gotta get a chance to play. Just I was gonna get you versus Chrysler for that sake of variety, but I'm gonna get you guys hopefully after this one. Hopefully, maybe this one will be like super quick. You never know. Maybe Derma will go in 1, 2, 3, 4. Take these boys to the store. You know what I mean? Take them out for a night in town. Real quick. And we'll get you guys in there immediately. SPS is the better support class than the solo class. That's true. If it is spot, yo, Psycho! We gotta get Psycho in here, boys. Psycho, do you play Alliance or Horde? That will give us an idea of like how do we get you in. How you doing, my man? Hope you have a good one. 1v1, kill, go back to the base. Yeah, we could probably do something like that. Yeah, that'd be interesting. It's like a Pokemon style, right? Pokemon battle style. That'd be kind of cool. Alrighty, switch. We got ourselves Derma over on the team 1. Alright, to go. Got that. I like that mug a lot. Looks good. We got ourselves Faye Orchid. We got ourselves Tags. He's gonna be first up. I like that set, by the way. We got ourselves Sensetsu. I'm gonna get your name wrong. Hold on, let me try it again. Senretsu in the back, as well as I switched the wrong person. Sulfur over in the back as well. We got ourselves Team 2 together with Fenney. We got ourselves Huge Buttman. We got ourselves Lyra. We got ourselves Beggar. And his first up is going to be Nay, the Paladin, versus Tagsy, as he's just going to sit and set up behind the pillar, behind the ramp, behind the stairs. They just trying to see if they can wait and buy them some time for a better opportunity to rush out of tags. They know with the Warlock is going to be an immediate port. It's going to be a soul shape. Quick stun. Tags with the human racial immediately more to call, sending they running as far as possible as they can. And they with wings ready to go, ready to blast out some damage. Taxi knows to avoid this damage as best possible. Could go for the gateway in case they wanted to. Looks like they're just gonna run away from Ney as they're not seeing the Paladin mount up and try to use mobility to their advantage. Taxi trying to see if they can mount up at the last second. Ney does not really push the aggression with that judgment. And now it looks like Ney is just running away from Taxi as the wings are gone. That's what Taxi needs to make sure to get some dots on a Ney, put a slow on him. That crippling slow with that curse of exhaustion is going to be huge. Ney can only remove it once in a while with a hand of freedom. Quick drain onto Ney. As the dots are ramping up, could be lots of pressure. Ney, with a Shield of Vengeance, needs to make sure that shield pops next to fake Taxi in order to get some offensive value on it. It looks like the shield does save him for a second. Big damage out of Taxi without him popping cooldowns. And Ney might be in big trouble here unless they catch up on health. If they're just rushing at Taxi with no help whatsoever, put themselves out in the open, could be pretty big trouble. Picking up the eye by accident, gonna make him take 5% more damage from all Taxi's abilities. Not a best situation to be in, but better than nothing. Gonna be Taxi with a drain alive versus Ney, trying to keep the pressure rolling. Ney with a quick fury, at least trying to set one up. There's gonna be no more rebuke by the Paladin. Tricking out of Ney, does not have the bubble, so it's gonna be just a matter of time until the dots rot you. And the Paladin trying to do the best they can, or trying to see if they can survive the damage, survive the rot, survive the dots. But looks like with the drain, Taxi is gonna end up taking them down. With Beggar loaded up, ready to go, trying to give Taxi a bit of an honor duel, let him know, hey, you're fighting me. So Taxi's getting an opportunity to at least swap out to an Incubus or a Succubus, whichever one they got going there. Looks like it's the Incubus, keeping him a good distance away in case Beggar is right next to the pet so he cannot get interrupted. Beggar with a quick sap on the Warlock, knows there's going to be a pet, he knows there's going to be some sort of CC, opening up with an ambush. That's going to be a Succubus seduction immediately, so he got a stun for Taxi later. Taxi actually swapping out to a different trinket. Last time he played the Resolve trinket, this time playing the Relentless instead, trying to reduce the amount of CC they take instead of increasing it. Beggar trying to see if he can set up a bit of damage on the pet. That's going to be the dots ramped up health funnel on the pet, so Taxi's losing a little bit of health by sacrificing a pet in order to give the health and survivability to that pet. Beggar continued to put pressure onto the pet. It looks like maybe there was a human, maybe a sippy cup? Is that what that was? Potentially got himself a sippy cup just now? It's actually rotting down by quite a bit. Definitely needs to go for some kind of survivability as soon as possible. It's going to be Mortar Claw sending him to the other side. Potentially it's going to go for a Cloak of Shadows. Fear as it's still rotted down. Malefic Ruptures are getting pretty low. It's going to be Cloak of Shadows burned by Beggar. Trying to see if he can get himself a little bit more of that survivability. That's going to be a quick Shadow Meld in order to make sure he gets himself a proper reset. Tags it back out in the open, sending the Incubus into stealth. Wants to make sure the Incubus has line inside of Tags at all times. There goes the stun. Is definitely just going to let the Succubus do what. Going to be chicken for Beggar, trying to see if he can maximize damage with a resolve. Looks like that was a port for Taxi at the last second before the Resonator trick went off. Exploding on Taxi. You ways to get it loaded. Beggar going in for a bit of damage as much as they can, but it's going to be quick fear and loaded up even more dots. Taxi's not even committing full burn damage here. Just letting those dots get ramped up and lower and just raw Beggar over time. Trying to go for Malefic Rapture. I think that might have done enough damage with the rots. Are going to take it down. Cheat death for a quick second. Does get himself whatever small survivability possible. Quick blind onto the Incubus. But the dots do tip him right over. And Lyra gonna be up next. The dot damage and Taxi. That's something you should remember here. Did not pop any cooldowns there. That was just raw damage of Affliction Warlock. Just let those dots over time take down Beggar as well as Ney the Paladin. Just letting those rots do work. Lyra gonna try to see if they might be able to counteract these dots and these rots. If they are playing a proper Feign Death Legendary, they might actually be okay. Try to see if they could siphon a lot of that shield with that new Malediction trinket versus Taxi. Wasn't quite able to do it. I think they are playing a proper Craven stratagem this time though. It's going to be Uwe getting loaded up. If Taxi can just get line of sight and get a couple of agonies, a couple of corruptions onto Lyra, and then maybe go for a full rapid contagion, those dots will do a lot of work. Lyra trying to see if they can avoid the drain. Does go for a bit of acceleration. Has No Warlock Healthstone actually on their team. I was thinking maybe they would. Medic manages the duel recover with a quick feint. Dead does at least give himself a reset. That Incubus frozen. Can't quite pressure Lyra. There's going to be cooldowns coming out for Lyra with a flayed shot. Tagsy porting away as soon as possible. I think that might have been a human ratio to break out of that stun. Try to stay ahead of Lyra as best as possible, letting the dots ride the pet and ride the hunter. There's going to be feint death by Lyra. Could be in a bad spot. Tagsy needs to make sure to get all the dots loaded up. This is where you want to go for UA and let the dots just do all the work in the world. Drain life after Lyra with a mortal coil. UA is going to set up Shadow Fury right after. Malefic crouches to follow. Maybe can do enough damage. There's going to be a wall out of Lyra. Will survive the finish. Got himself a big defensive quick feint death to remove all those dots really quickly. But drain lives can still be applied on the pet. Lyra under pressure with an Incubus, not going to be given a proper opportunity to get himself a proper reset. Then drain is going to attach before the turtle shot comes out. Lyra under a ton of pressure, unless they go for a proper feint death, maybe with a camo. I don't know if they really end up getting recovery here. Needs to be as clean as possible. Freeze on the pet, gives them opportunity, gives them a breather. Feint death for a second. Do they get a camo? No camo. They're just going to have to go for a dot versus Tagsy. Is their pet dead? I think Tagsy might have drained the pet earlier. If Lyra realizes this, they should have definitely went for a camo. I don't think he realized that. I think there's a corpse of the pet right back there. Yep, Lyra at no health whatsoever. Drain, life to fall. I think it's over. Tagsy, again, this man hasn't popped cooldowns at all. He's just rotting these boys out without having to use CDs at all. Is there going to be one day Tagsy popping off the full dark lane and everything? At some point or another, yeah, I imagine. But this man so far hasn't had to do it. He's going to end up picking up the eyes by accident. Going to be the human racial to break out of the stun. Warning away from Fenney as they're dropping down the grenade trinket on the ground. Just letting it roll off their hand. Like an oopsie, they slip. Tagsy keeping himself as much as he can for Fenney. Curse of Josh is slowing him down. Does recover a lot of health with a drain. Fenney, feared out in the open. Quick trick in order to break out of the fear just to get the pressure rolling versus Tagsy. Got himself the wings rolling, and that's going to be potential lots of damage. Tagsy trying to see if they can maybe go for a big solo versus Fenney. Does go for a full pet setup. Fenney's going to take a bit of damage. Tagsy does not commit all the cooldowns, just the dark layer. Mortal into Fenney. Bubble getting forced out. Tagsy has support. Trying to stay away from Fenney. Needs to keep himself alive as best as possible. Does have a dark pack. Definitely needs to get himself a drain onto Fenney as soon as possible. The earlier the better. Fenney does give himself a full reset. No more dots. Perfect opportunity to recover. Looks like they're going to take advantage of this with a couple of flash of lights. Tags needs to make sure that they have line of sight of Fenney. Needs to make sure to use that range between them and the Paladin as best as they can. Drain does let Tagsy recover a little bit of health. Slow down onto Fenney immediately. Hand of freedom to keep him rolling. Tagsy, break it out of the stun. I don't even know how you keep breaking out of those stuns. There's no way you have the human ritual back up that early. Unless you got an imp. But you're playing imp or something? Is there an imp somewhere I haven't seen? There's got to be breaking out somehow. Gonna be a fear onto Fenney with the full dots, but it's gonna be rampant contagion. Potentially full dots possible. Not full damage yet, but the dots are in. The dots have set in. Tagsy has actually got himself a lot of recovery, a ton of it in fact. Fenney just continues to try to see if they can put pressure on Tagsy. Big drain, and Fenney might still be in trouble. Stun, it's gonna be done. Tagsy does pop some cooldowns at the very end, just to make sure you can get this cast off very, very quickly. So far, I've been rotting this team out. This Affliction Warlock is absolutely unstoppable. With Huge gonna be up next as Tagsy has a lot of damage rolling in. Wants to make sure to get those dots up and running onto Huge. Definitely also should get those dots up on that pet as well. That pet is just an extra target, an extra body for you to get corrupt agonies on. And maybe even on the Kevin slime, because Kevin does give you an extra target. That's just going to give you more opportunities for drains. And an extra target if you go for the full Night Fade drain setup. Because you can drain health from multiple targets, which gives you more healing. Tagsy is going to keep the pressure in the dots on the pet. Huge, taking a bit of the dot damage as well. Needs to be decursing the agony as soon as possible. He has the opportunity to remove at least a portion of the damage, as well as the procs with the survivability that the Warlock is going to utilize here. Quick fear onto Huge. Soul Ride getting set up. Tagsy full dots. Is he just going to rampage him? Going to go for the dark glare. So the dots are going to ramp up. It's going to be Huge. Potentially loading himself up some damage. Tagsy finds himself kind of low. Look at Sky Fury. Big Lassa in order to interrupt the drain life. Tagsy could be in big trouble. Wall might not be enough to keep him alive. Drain life is going to use versus Huge, dropping down the explosive trinket, and it's going to be Huge. Getting hit with a mortal coil. Tagsy recovered all that health at 29% dampening. Shaman finds himself finally some respite behind the cat statue on top of that ramp. It's going to send out a lava burst at Tagsy, swinging around the corner. Earth Elemental joining in as Huge finds himself pretty low on health. Definitely is going to have to utilize that wall whenever Tagsy got any big burst damage. Banish onto that pet. If your pet cannot protect you while banish, then Huge definitely needs to wait out for the banishment for later. giving tags a less opportunity to be able to catch that banish and locking out that wall. But I could be wrong on that one. Maybe you can still use a defensive wall defense banish. Who knows? Big Earth Shock, Taxi trying to ramp up this damage. Rapid Contagious up. Dark Bat keeping him alive barely. They got Flame Shock at the Earth Elemental beating up on it. Flash Cut for Huge. Taxi trying to see if he can interrupt it. Does land it with a wall up for Huge. Does himself a big defensive fear by Taxi. Trying to go for full Soul Rod. Shadow Fear onto Huge. That's going to be a Taxi actually going for Massive Drain on all these pets as well as Huge. With a lightning lasso run out, Taxi caught up a lot of health and a pretty big healing over time after the Massive Drain. Huge just rotted. And Taxi taking these boys out of here. My goodness, Affliction Warlocks can be pretty disgusting when it comes to 5v5 1v1 duels. You know, 1v1, just the dots, man, the pressure. Jesus, for a while, Taxi just held on to their offensives. They were just like, all right, get rots, and you're good to go. I'm just gonna let you be there, let you whittle away bit by bit. Crazy. I love it. You know what? That's what I miss. I remember at the beginning of Shadowlands, Affliction Warlocks kind of walked away from the dot heavy playstyle. Instead, it was like more like Crouch Spam and maybe even Drain Burst. But I kind of love how that has to be part of that has to be a staple of Warlock gameplay going forward. I always enjoy that about Affliction, the dot, the rot. You know what I mean? It's so good. And it's spot in my TM Psycho? Yo, definitely. Yo, Fenney, 3 plays in Alliance, you could get one more. If you're Alliance Psycho, you could join Fenney. Tags you gonna play? Nemi, Sentry, Anton, do you guys have groups? Anton and Sentry, Archie, let's come on the EST store. I think Archie might have left them. Well, it's like the same as I've Saxon. Yeah, he's pretty good. Any upcoming team in the chat? Yeah, they might be able to, they might be getting ready, boys. Nemi's ready. Fenney needs a couple more on lines. Nemi's ready to go. We gotta get Nemi in here as soon as possible. Horde? Okay, we had a group with Horde for Anton and Sentry, the Russian boys, but I think they're done. We have Fenney's Alliance, Taxi's Alliance, and Nemi's Alliance. So it's like we actually don't have a single Horde team right now. We have Anton with the Horde group, but I think they're done for the night. I think they popped off. A little bit sad. I like seeing my boys in there, but a lot of them get to play, except for my boy Arhidu, never get to really play. Grasbat is the Destro versus Tags Affliction will make it a fun duel, for sure. Actually, those two dueled each other last week. It was interesting. Calf Ultra off to some arenas, bro. Yo, thanks so much for popping in. Taxi ready to go. Nemi ready. Fenney needs 3 more. Taxi Sensei hasn't played at all. Want Dermot to play? Yeah, I want Dermot to play too. I guess we could do Nemi versus Taxi, yeah? If Fenney needs a couple more boys. 3 plays on Alliance, so they got 2 out of 5. Okay. I think I just saved that one. I gotta get a new audio. Beautiful. Phoenix one of different teammates. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I think variety is good. I won't say no to the variety. We can get Taxi and Nemi Loser-D in here. Let's do it. Because Nemi got DC last time to try to play. We're gonna back in here. Ashermane's Fall. Why would Ashermane fall so hard? Ashermane, why are you falling over? Ashermane, what are you doing? Why are you tripping over yourself? Ashermane, why you be like that? By the way, boys, thank you so much for hanging out with me, man. I'm enjoying hanging out with you boys. I'm having a lot of fun in these duels. Hope you guys are too. Thanks for chilling. I do appreciate y'all. Also, my duels video super late. Extremely late. I hope we can get up and running in just a moment here. Are we getting this up and running? Because I just need a thumbnail. I think I also need a tag though. Maybe. All good. Are we ready? Oh my god, I couldn't even set up. Cause I have one ready, dude. It's a Demon Hunter 2. We don't have a lot of those. So Twitch, make it a group, yo Psycho. Boys, if you're a horde, you want to join Team Psycho, join up. LOG, peep them. We got a group, boys. So Team Anton and Archie, those guys that were in that team, you guys can play some more. Send Retsu get hit with a stun immediately as Fast try to see if he might be able to get himself a bit of a go. He's gonna go for a port really early on. The Fell Lord to try to guard him, try to stay under the big bro. And that's going to be Demon Tyrant joining in with a full Obelisk joining in, but that's going to be the Monk backing up out of the completely. So fast it needs to go chasing after the Monk. The pet's actually doing quite a bit of damage. Sunretsu can hit with the Mortal Coil. The Tyrant kind of avoiding completely. That's going to be a Karma as the Tyrant does finally get line of sight of Sunretsu. It's going to be a quick jab with an intro by Sunretsu, trying to stop the Tyrant from playing. Trinket, Human Ritual out of that Axe toss, and Facile just trying to keep the pressure on the Monk as best as possible. Definitely needs to find a way to get some slows on Sunretsu at some point or another. Build up whatever soul shards he can and keep the pets in there, keep the pets putting in the pressure, definitely with Demon Doggers at the very least. Sunretsu closing the gap, trying to get a slow into Facile. That's going to be Sunretsu trying to go for a big go himself. Mortal Coil into Facile. It looks like he's going to back up out of there. Is he trying to stay in or get away from Facile? That's going to be a flash cut for Facile. Looks like Sunretsu is going to back up and just fight the pet back there, maybe hoping to take down the pet, stun around the corner. Facile needs to get a slow one to Sunretsu immediately. Going to be Demon Doggers joining in, doing quite a bit of damage. Next to Demon Doggers are going to keep biting Sunretsu with the BDB. Offensive Fury, big damage to the Facile. We're on Dragon Punch, does get Facile kind of low. It's going to be a port as Facile does go for a bit of that Aegis Trinket, get himself a bit of a defensive. Zuen join in. It's going to be Facile sending in a couple of those Demon Bolts in there. Desert Bolt getting loaded up. Going to be a quick interrupt by Sunretsu. And Facile is going to have to eat those interrupts to make him a little bit longer. Does give himself immunity to CC afterwards with that result trick. And Fear onto Sunretsu with a quick drain. But a big kick and a big old blackout kick to follow Sunretsu. Does end up getting enough damage to the Facile, taking him out. Honestly, I thought the Warlock would have had that one. But Sunretsu just sitting with a 1-2-1-2. Lord going to be up next as a warrior. Try to see if he might be able to fight the Monk. It's going to be immediate, reckless abandon, trying to max out the damage, but a quick root out of Sunretsu, stopping in place. Going to be Lord with a reckless backup, I think playing the Tormenting Executory, so there might have been a Blade Storm that he used earlier, or maybe just a Raging Blow that got him the procs. Going to be the images going back over towards Lord. It's going to be a great Rage duration to give himself a lot of the damage reduction. Got himself the damage, keep himself moving. Full Recklessness rolling in. Sunretsu just avoid him completely. There's just nothing Lord can do to catch up to this Monk. It's not even like the Monk. And this is why I realized why Monk's so frustrating to PvP against. Like when the Rogue sees you, there's nothing you can do. The Rogue is using an ability to stop you. The Monk, he just chooses not to fight you, which makes it super frustrating. It's like no matter how much you move, no matter how much you run, the Monk just chooses to not fight you, chooses to not engage with you, and there's not much you can really do to stop him. Look at that port. As Sunretsu does use his mobility skillfully in order to try to see if he can back out of there as soon as possible. Lord trying to see if he might be able to force the Monk out in the open. As Lord does not have any more defensive, this was Sunretsu is hoping to maybe set something up. It's going to be Fist of Fury Lord. As long as they have him pending victory, you can go for a bit of a self-heal. It's going to be trying to give himself a bit of a raging blow. Does give himself a reckless abandon. Karma getting used really early by Sunretsu. It looks like Lord is trying to see if he can waddle away from Sunretsu. Electric follow. Lord, Human Racial's out of it. Definitely needs to give himself a line as best as possible. Angel Chicken is going to help him with some of the BDB damage, avoiding a portion of the damage away from him. I think there was a big heal just now. Lord finds us super low, and Sunretsu gets himself a massive crit to follow with the images. Big setup taking down the warrior. And Loon is going to be up next. He definitely needs to make sure he gets to a proper open on Sunretsu. This Monk might have a human racial at some point or another. Loon better be super careful. He uses result chicken really early. Full bleeds, convoke, Sunretsu ports out immediately. There's going to be pretty big bleeds on him either way. Fist of Fury locking down Loon as he has himself full burst ready to go. Trying to see if he can leap after Sunretsu. Ring of Peace could potentially keep him at bay. That incap is definitely going to stop him. Couldn't quite maximize that resolve trinket as well. I was playing imp, that's how I dispelled. Oh really, Taxi? Okay, I was gonna say for a second. I didn't even say the imp for a moment. Skull bash on Sunretsu as the dude go for a flesh crouch as Loon needs to get himself all the bleeds in the world and get himself somehow, some way a setup on this Monk. Sunretsu with a leg sweep. BDB gets dropped and bursts in Loon. Fist of Fury barks it up for Loon. At least he's able to survive this burst opener from Sunretsu for a moment. And the Cyclone just to give himself a bit of a breather. But Loon definitely got himself a hell of a challenge cut out for him. Definitely needs to go for as many calm point builders or as the spenders in order to get cooldown reduction on his Berserk. Because he's gonna need Convoke, gonna need Berserk, gonna need to make sure that there's no trinket available for Sunretsu, and maybe even try to burst him down away from any kind of port. Sunretsu doesn't have a port out in the middle. So you could go behind any pillar and would be able to separate away from Loon. Maim with a Convoke, potential big damage. Does this? Oh! And Loon does end up taking him out. There it is. Does end up convoking him. What is that convoke burst, by the way? Did you get like the biggest bite in the world not convoke? Huh? You see his health? I mean the Monk's health was actually fine, and then big chunky bite and that's over. Loon does go for a couple of resets to the Derma, keeping the dots rolling. Derma is rooted. Just doesn't wait for those bleeds out. Loon is just going for a couple of Moonfires. Berserk coming back up hopefully very, very soon, in about a minute. Loon with the Barks and Wall in bear form. Actually, I think this man might be running the Omen Trinket, or Legendary. I'm starting to think maybe he is. I'm starting to think that might be what he's running. Is he going to get a, going bear? I was going to say, going bear from for a second. Are you going to see a Frenzy region out of nowhere? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Evasion up for Derma. Loon back into bear form. Good pop a wall here in case things go really bad. Thorns is up, trying to keep Derma in place with a quick charge. Just trying to keep Derma at least in combat in one way or another. Main is going to be, not main, but a Moonfire as he goes into non-bear form. Big result trick, and that's going to be Loon under ton of pressure. It's going to be a quick throw into Derma, but that Eviscerate was already queued in, and Loon does end up taken out. With Naz going to be up next. Could Naz potentially make something happen here? Could Naz potentially push in versus Derma, hitting him with a chain of ice, getting shot by the rogue IBF used by the death, and immediately as it's going to be dark transformation, Derma bails out of there as soon as he sees the pressure. And just going to try to see if he can somehow find a way to escape the Death Knight. What's up, Elrock? How you doing, man? Hope you're having a good one. Hope you're having a great one, my guy. You're Psycho, boys. If you're a Horde and you want to join Psycho, he got 2 more spots. Check LFG on EU. Check LFG, we can get a Horde group together. Derma skulking around, does go for a Shadow Strike in order to interrupt the Flesh Cut, trying not to give Naz an opportunity to set up a big defensive stun by the Death Knight with a Trinket forced out by the Rogue. Go for that disarm onto the DK. He can stop a portion of the damage of the Death Knight. He can dismantle his weapon, but his weapon, a portion of it at least, is the Army of the Undead. Also, I see you change your mog up a bit. You got that big ball head, a beard, no helm. Taking the helm off for this one. It's going to be Derma trying to see if he can get the pressure. Naz does end up taking them down. With Shuni going to be the last one left over for the team 2 as a Frosty Mage. Interesting. Necrolord Frost Mage. I want to see if this guy ends up maybe making a play. He got Derma to go through him. We got tags in the back. We got Jon Snow. My God. And Sulfur. Jon Snow. Does this man know anything though? Gonna be trying to go for a Deathborn. It's gonna be ulti time for Shuni. As they try to get some Frostbolts on the Derma, to try to see if they can slow him down. The ulti time is gonna give him a little bit of survivability. That's gonna be massive Frostbolts flowing for Shuni as they try to get himself lots of damage in. Are they playing Ice Form? No, they're playing actually like proper, I think they're playing proper Icy Veins. I was trying to figure out what the cooldown is. Derma trying to see if he might be able to get away from Shuni, but they got full damage going. It's going to be Derma driving into South for a second. Shuni needs to pick up the eyes immediately while the Rogue finds himself super low in health. Shuni is doing exactly that. Deathborn form activated. Damage highly enhanced. It's playing with a pet, so it's actually a different build that they're running. So I guess maybe going for a bit more CC heavy build. Does the pet maybe, can the pet maybe get a line of sight of Derma? They can maybe have the pet swing around the corner. Looks like Derma is going to be able to make himself a quick escape unless Shuni randomly just goes and finds himself out. That's going to be Ringo. Actually, how's that orb not connect? How's that orb not hit him? I feel like that's gypped. I feel like Shuni just got gypped. That was a lot of his cooldowns rolling in. That orb was going to be the play. And Derma somehow narrowly avoided it. I don't even know how. Shuni does hang out right on top of Derma. They just don't know it. And Derma should be able to get himself a proper opener onto Shuni. Blink out of the cheap shot. He's going to try to land a poly. It's going to be a poly. Ulti time is up in case they need to. And Shuni might just have to cancel the ulti time. It's not going to cancel the ulti time. At least the Frostbolt did fly midair. Get a shot on Shuni immediately as they have a blink ready to follow. It's going to be yet another poly into Derma. At least he got a lot of CC back to back. It's going to go for yet another poly and more Frostbolts right after. Try to get the pressure rolling to the Rogue. Rogue's going to try to see if he can sprint out of there. Going to be a Nova to follow. I think that's what they're playing for the patch. It's for that Nova. Or maybe playing for that Icy Nova. In order to give him more roots, in order to give him more burst against Derma. You know, Derma has an evasion rolling. I don't really know what they can do with that evasion, but shouldn't try to keep the pressure on him. Going to be moving while casting a Frostbolt. Derma cannot go for an interrupt at all anymore. Actually, Derma might be in trouble. It's going to be Ring of Frost barely touching him. Derma does get himself a reset, and Derma does try it on top of everybody. And Shuni does not want to. Oh man, running on top of your allies. Shuni knows he's like, I don't want to attack your teammates. So for Derma to hide amongst his teammates does feel like kind of like not cheating, but does feel dirty. It's going to be Derma getting blasted out by the Frost Elemental. Not going to let this rogue catch a reset. That Nova is going to keep him in place. It's going to be a Comet Storm coming down. Derma getting hit with the roots. Just continues to get rooted from time to time. The slows from the Frostbolts are keeping him pretty slow. It's going to be Nova, but Derma doesn't get quite caught in it. AoE by Shuni as Derma does get himself a proper reset. And Shuni does not have eyes or anything on this side or the other. Wait, no eyes to spawn. Never mind. Give an opportunity to go again. Oh no. Derma with the sap. Nova by that bed. It's going to keep him in combat. It's going to be Frostbolt by Shuni. It's going to get himself the Deathborn procking. Derma trying to see if Shadow Step, maybe an interrupt. I don't know if he's got an interrupt available or not. It's going to be Pets joining in. It's going to be more Frostbolt Shuni just trying to see if he can blast that Derma. Do they have a Flurry rolling in? If they got a Flurry proc, Flurry does get proc. Can they go maybe for a couple Lances back to back? Frozen Orb around the corner, does attach next to Derma. You're just going to take the damage. Lance is flowing in. It's going to be Kidney Shot. Shadow Step by Derma, trying to get aggressive. It's going to be full Kidney after a cheap shot. Shuni does go for a root yet again. Actually under a ton of pressure, trying to go for Flesh Cap. Polymorph for Derma will not be able to stop him as a Cloak of Shadows comes out. And that's going to be first Icebug for Shuni. As we're hitting that 11-minute mark. How is this man doing this? How is this mage actually surviving the rogue? We don't see a lot of frost mages in these duels, even though they're really popular in arenas. But this Shuni is doing really well. Nova onto the rogue, has alter time in case things go bad. Derma caught up on all that health. Deathborn is up for Shuni. Could potentially go for a big setup. Blink it away. Maybe setting up for Ring of Frost. Looks like not going to set up for Ring of Frost just yet. Kidney Shot after the cheap shot. As the rogue just trying to keep what kind of CC he can onto Shuni with a blind to follow. I think trying to keep him next to the Resonant Trinket. If anything, the pet should be able to root Derma away from Shuni. Potentially. Does go for an Icy Nova. Needs to go for a couple more Frostbolts while the Deathborn is up. Every one of those Deathborn Frostbolts is going to increase the damage of Shuni little by little. That's going to be the pet. Keeping Derma in combat. Kevin Slime helping out a little bit as well. Shuni trying to go for most minute damage. It's going to be a quick blink. Derma does Shadow Step after him with the Kidney Shot to follow. Trying to put the pressure and does take Shuni out. Oh, no. I was hoping the mage would have a bit more of a play. But Derma actually got a chance to properly play. That's pretty good. One last final over to you. Let's go, boys. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Almost blinded him and rest. Oh, no. Yeah, it's so slow. It's so good. You're good, you're good. You did well. I'm not gonna lie. I was rooting out for the Frost Mage because I feel like they're still underdogs for duels in particular. But Derma played that one really, really well. But I'm not gonna lie. I was rooting for the Mage. I wanted to see could a Mage do it. It's not I wanted to Mage defeat Derma. I just wanted to see if a Mage could beat somebody because we know they're really good in arenas. But we never really see him in 1v1s that much. Fire Mage on the other hand, survivability, plenty of burst, plenty of control. It's a much better 1v1 setup. So slow. Derma played that one really, really well, by the way. Those cheap shots to force a blink into a kidney gave you like an opportunity to actually lock him down in place. Especially if you're playing deeper strat, that kidney ends up getting at least a little bit more value than it normally would. Going from like a 7-minute, what is it? It is DR, but at least a 7-minute DR instead of a 6-minute DR. So at least you get an opportunity to like lock him down for a second. That was really well done. That was really well played. The mage was fascinated because of Frost and Void Elf human, not a human, which is not meta save. I mean, Void Elves could actually be pretty good too. Apparently there's quite a lot of mages right now. Not a lot, not everybody, but quite a few of them that are Void Elves at the high end. I don't know if it's either for Alliance or maybe just to make sure that their Frostbolt casts don't get slowed down by damage. So maybe they can just keep tunneling. And maybe the mobility with Void Elf can be pretty useful too. I think the mobility counts as well. Because if you can use alter time in order to like juke somebody, they could use that to also bait somebody for like movement and stuff. I know that some Void Elves in the past have been able to use that in duels, but it's a lot probably more effective in arenas. Where you can like set a thing over here, run away, the chase after you, you port. It's almost like a second alter time. Unless they know what they were looking for. Plus this one I think is a lot harder to see than the alter time. Because the alter time you got a big old clock above your head, ticking down the time. Like, hey, I'm about to move. I'm about to port. You're basically letting him know. You might as well just come in with a blaring silence like, hey, I'm about to change where I'm going. Like a snow elf? Maybe. Alright boys, how we doing in groups? Do we have enough to fill out the group with Psycho? If you guys want to go again, I want to go again. If Psycho can maybe get a +1 in there to make a 5-man PvP group, boys, I'll be down to do at least one more. Arcade is doing in PvP unlike people's opinions. Arcane can do okay-ish, but it definitely is not the strongest PvP spec. Still waiting, we need one more Team Psycho group, boys! Do we maybe get Nemi and Taxi? Was fun, Dollar GG. Thank you so much for coming by, Taxi. Appreciate you. Nemi, do you still have a group? Maybe you could swipe some of the boys from Team Taxi that still want to play. How to join the duels? Check out the LFG window, man. Play with supply premium group, custom PvP, find a group, summon number 5 in the search. Then you got some 5v5 groups. We got Sean trying to get one going. You should come down and gaming. I like you promoting me, man. Thank you so much. Look at this guy. Yo. Let's get Sean. Needs one more on Team Horde. We'll be good to go. By the way, you gotta play on EU Dalaran server? Oh my man. I played on NA Dalaran for a while too. Had a buddy that actually legitimately played on US Dalaran for a while. Had a guild there, friends and everything. It's a Horde heavy server, but no, it's an Alliance heavy server, but we were Horde. That's pretty cool. Let you play on Dalaran. Because it used to be for a while Dalaran on Dalaran. But I think some people still think that I'm Dalaran on Dalaran. So some people were like, wait, when they see me on Illidan, they're like, wait, I thought you were on Dalaran. It's like, well, yeah, but guild fell apart. So then I found another one, and I kind of prefer Illidan better. I used to play on Illidan before that. I just searched for it and it's popping up. Is it because I'm Horde? We do have one group for Horde. I don't know if you have a group for Alliance though. Nemi, Tags, I know Tagsy is gone, but Nemi, are you still putting a group together? Or Fenney, are you guys still trying to put a group together? Fenney, Nemi, are any of you trying to put a group together on Alliance? Because if we get a +1 for Psycho, we can maybe get one for Alliance to verse against them. Maybe, possibly, probably, potentially, preferably. How are we doing? Mine is empty. Oh, your team is done. Do you think maybe we could snag? Do you think it's possible to open up LFG just to see if there's interest? Sean? Okay, ready. Sean got a 5. Yo, can somebody... Yo, if you guys are interested in doing... Sean finally got a group together, boys. We need a team for Sean to play against. Sean, I'm hoping... Because it is kind of late. We usually end the stream about this time or so. But sometimes you go for a little bit longer if there's still groups. But it looks like... Nemi, I don't know if you want to... You don't have to say yes. You don't have to say yes. But if you're interested in doing more and more, and you want to open up LFG, see if anybody wants to sign up, that could work. Is this only for you? I'm an A star, my bad. Yo, Pibs, we do EU Friday, but we do NA Saturday. So come back tomorrow stream, and you could join in, my guy. You could join in, Pibs, tomorrow. Join us up. Any teams for Alliance is NA. There's no teams for Alliance unless you guys want to start it. Corey, if you want to start a team on Alliance, if you want to, let the boys know that you're starting a group, right? We'll let the boys in the chat know that you have a group. See if we can fill it up, because Sean is ready. You got a 5-man Horde, but we don't have a group to verse against him. I mean, unless you guys are Donsky, and then what? There's not so much we can do about it, Psycho, if everybody's done. But if somebody wants to start one, we'll see if we can generate some interest. Maybe get one going. This weekend was always full of surprises. Oh yeah. Oh, this one was full of surprises, man. This one was themed. I miss my boy Chrysler and my boy Cracker in here, but we got the regular outside of that. Jackson popping off. We got the Fire Mage 1v5, dude, singeing the boys out. Does anyone need one more? Is anyone who need one more? Nemi, I don't think there's an Alliance group that needs a +1. But if you make one, I wonder if it will be pretty easy to fill, because it looks like there's a couple of the Alliance that are looking. I'm gonna get it straight tomorrow, but I'll be there. Yo, my man, that's how you start. You get in the duel, you get destroyed, learn a lesson or two, come back in the next one, you do better, and then you do better next one, and you do better next one, and you do better next one, and you keep going, keep the grind rolling, and then eventually you become one of the greats. That's how it is. You got to start somewhere, right? The hardest part and the scariest part is getting in there and putting yourself in that situation. But once you do it, that's the hardest part. Coming back to them, keep trying your best, learning and trying and improving. That's all it's about, honestly. Especially when most of the person nearly dies, comes back at 3% health, they still win somehow. Yeah, I love those. When somebody's like really close to dead and then just turns it around. Yeah, or if it's like you're watching a class pop in towards the edge of the duel, and you're not really expecting for them to go for like a big banger one shot, and they pull it off anyway. It's crazy cool. I think it's my favorite. I think it's my all-time favorite. Zero Fear, I'm a lot of enjoyed. Yeah, the aquatic forms are amazing looking. Yeah, when the form like that, you're basically a shark crocodile alligator combo. Like, you're literally the apex predator. Too bad none of the arenas have water in there, otherwise I feel like Druids would end up winning that one easily. Imagine if they had an arena where it's literally swimming combat. That would be terrible, one, for gameplay and competitive side. But it'd be kind of fun for, like, just for funsies. Just made a group if you want to jump in. Yo, boys, we got a group over in Team Alliance. Check out LFG. We got Saka with a 5-man on the horde. We got a Alliance group forming on EU with Name and trying to put one together. If y'all want to join in, check LFG, check 5V5 1V1 Duels. See if we can get Nemi loaded up with a 5-man squad to fight versus your boy Sean. Give Sean an opportunity to play a game. Be funny AF? Yeah, it definitely would be. Definitely would be. Thanks, Marcel. Let's go. And while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna see if I can get my video all up and running because it took me so long for it to render and all that stuff. Underwater duels, yeah, it would be, yeah, it would be funny for like a moment, but like in terms of like actual what's this? For actual gameplay purposes, it would be kind of weird. You know what I mean? It'd be really difficult. It'd be very, very difficult to put together, in my opinion. Because like the Z-axis and the way blinks function, the way certain abilities will function, it'll just be really, really awkward. You know? Like leap wouldn't quite work because you're basically leaping towards the ocean floor. It would just be really awkward, really, really weird. Blinks I feel like would bug out all the time. Abilities like Soul Shape would just not go anywhere. Unless abilities could like code them so then they like function very, very properly, which would be very, very difficult. It's almost like having combat like in midair. That'd be cool like when you're watching Super Saiyan do it, but not really when we were to try to do it ourselves. You know what I mean? Although we could dream, maybe one day we'll have naval combat. Maybe like naval combat sounds like, not naval, but you know. How we doing, Nemi? How's your group getting put together, my man? Dudes that are dead OP underwater duels theoretically. Yeah, there would be. I think Druids would end up winning though, because he would actually have decent mobility. He would just pop into child form and would just swim away from the enemy. He would be the only one that can actually have some movement. Maybe like Demon Hunters with a Fell Rush. Monks with a roll would be really weird. Dragon Kick wouldn't even work unless you do it on the surface. And then you can kind of glide in the surface. 2 now? Sound good. Vidala, what's up, Dermo? How you doing, my man? You want to join in? Still in 3? Yo, Dermo, do you want to hop on an Alliance character? Join Nemi by any chance? Get a couple more boys? Then need 3 more on Team Alliance, boys! So we give Sean an opportunity to play the game! That's what we're trying to do, boys. See if we can get them together. Put a group together for the boy. I barely even got to finish my coffee today, boys. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Dude, usually I need coffee in order to get myself like energy. But recently, whenever we do duels, I don't drink as much coffee because I'm too busy watching duels and enjoying myself. Honestly, I feel like maybe like coffee makes me probably less jittery. Or drinking less coffee, less jittery. What up, what up? What up, what up? I don't know if Jeremy's in chat or not, so I'm just gonna say what up, what up. Maybe he is in chat. Chamber of the Aspects? That's a long server name. I think the only server that I played on legitimately that had kind of like a longer name was the first server I started with on a name, which was Scarlet Crusade. I don't know why we picked Scarlet Crusade. I think it was one of the servers that was like recommended when you're a new player. And we, me and my twin at the time got in a guild called Ryu Tenshi with a guy named Ryu. I didn't know the anime Ryu Tenshi before, but yeah, so I didn't realize we were like in a weeby sounding guild. At the time we had no idea. It was a rough place, but it's a weird guild. Basically, the idea for that guild was, okay guys, we're gonna put a raiding team together, but first we gotta go through older expansion raids. So first, before we could do current raids, we all had to go through vanilla raids, then TBC raids, then Wrath of Lich King raids, and then do the Cataclysm raids. It was weird, but it basically wanted for us to get through and defeat all the bosses of all the older expansion raids before we could make our way into the Cataclysm raids. And at the time it was like basically everybody is doing Firelands and prepping for Dragon Soul. So at the time we were just like, oh, I guess that's what people do. And I think it was weird. But at the time we were like, man, when can we do like a Cataclysm raid? When we all got, you know, got max level, started getting a little bit of gear, we weren't really sure if we were ready. We were like, hey, so Ryu, when can we start doing like a proper guild run in a Cataclysm? It's like once you get through TBC, then once you get through Wrath of Lich King. So we were trucking along, going through those raids. It was weird because it was like we were like what, level 85 doing a level 70 raid, doing level 80 raid, where everything just kind of falling over and mechanics don't really matter that much. So it was kind of weird, and it wasn't a transmog system at the time, so it's not like the gear was valuable or anything. It was just like cool. I guess we got to see the fights. Neat, you know. Like seeing the fights for the first time was cool. Maybe that's what he was trying to do, is like show new players like what all the raid fights look like before or whatever. But we were like, we kind of just want to raid. And then after a while, we were like, you know what? Let's get a raid going. So we decided to gather whatever friends were made on the server, because we were pretty social on the server. Like we were hanging on Goldshire with the Alliance boys and get to know a lot of the people. I got to know a lot of people that was dueling out in Goldshire. And I was like, hey, yo guys, I want to put a raid together. I don't know if we can do the current raid of Firelands, but I thought to ourselves, like, maybe we could all put together and run. At the time, I was like, you know what? Throne of Winds have only 2 bosses. Maybe we could do that. And again, me not understanding how tiers work, how you do like the first tier boss, the next tier boss, the next tier, everybody's doing Firelands. I basically was like, I want to raid, but I don't really know how to. So I thought maybe like we could all go do Throne of 4 Winds just for fun. And then we're down. So we got ourselves like a 10-man team together. We got one dude to swap tanks. So we got 3 tanks for this boss for Conclave of Wind. These guys had plenty of gear to do Firelands, but they were like, F it, we'll just go and hang out. And when doing Alec here, like we were like learning these fights, because me and my twin had no idea what's going on. Some of these guys never did it before, and they kind of skipped to Firelands. And then we're just chilling, and we're just hanging out in Throne of 4 Winds, learning how to do Alec here on our own, like Alec here normal 10-man, so it's not the most difficult fight. It came down to, in the final phase where the platform drops and you're kind of floating, the boss fills out like where you are as a player. You'll just put like a pocket of lightning and you gotta walk out of it, and you basically gotta fly all over the area of the boss and then try to use the space around you to fill out these pockets of lightning, and try to make sure you don't like stack together and you move as one, so you're not like spreading lightning everywhere and you have no space. In the end, it came down to us dying little by little, but we were getting the boss very, very close. It was me and my twin alive. He was tanking as a prop pally. I was healing as a rusted druid. And we were just like, come on, few more globals, just a few more percent. We almost got the boss, and we killed him, dude. Oh my god, it was awesome. Because we spent like, I don't know, 2 hours working on these bosses, because for a lot of us it was a learning experience. First time ever doing these bosses ever. And we were at our friend's house at the time, you know, we got our laptops in together, whatnot, all playing WoW. I don't think he was in a raid at the time. I think it was in someone else. I didn't think he wanted to do it. He was like, nah, I don't think we can. He was like, I don't think we can kill it. But we ended up killing it. Dude, I was so excited. Yo, don't ask Julia to hide in chat real quick. Okay. Okay. Why? Is Derma gonna say something bad? Is Derma gonna say something? Oh no. Okay, Derma is more or less hidden. Here we go. I don't think I'll get people now. Yo, how many do you got, Lord? Nemi. I keep calling you Lord sometimes. It's Nemi. How many do we have on Team Alliance? Nah, XD. Wait, are you sharing like a build with me or something? Is that what's going on? Okay, okay. Sounds good. Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, that's privacy stuff. Yeah, I got it right here. I can just write it down. And I'm just gonna add you off stream. Cool. It's only me now? Oh no. I don't think we can get another duel going, boys. Yo, Dal, love you content. What's up, Sheath? I know, my man. Yo, sorry, I know, my guy. Hope you're having a good one. When did this Wrath of Lich King Classic likely? Early 2023? I think 2022. I think 2022. Okay, I added you on a notepad, and I'll add you off stream. He's getting me blacklisted. It was. That's what's happening. What the? He's getting blacklisted. He just said if Tagsy is not online, he can do groups instead of you, Tagsy. That's all he said. I highly doubt he's gonna try to get you blacklisted, or maybe that's what he's trying to do. He's like, yo, hey, let me lead these groups. Don't worry about Tagsy. He doesn't need to know. Maybe that's what's going on. Probably no. He's trying to rotate you out of this completely. Alliance banners only on me, unfortunately. I don't think unless Dermo and Tagsy want to get the boys back together, I don't think we can get another Alliance group going, boys. Sean, I don't know if we'll be able to get one in here, man. He wants this 1v5 to himself? Probably. I won't blame him though, because Tagsy got to do a 1v5. Dermo only got like a 1v3 at most. I don't blame him. It's like, I want to be in spotlight, man. But it's just, I know what the comments are gonna say, be like, oh, Rogue, get a 1v5, that's so easy. Even though like they don't even know, man. Especially when rogues do like really ballsy plays, man. I appreciate those. Sorry, Psycho. You know what? Sometimes we get these groups rolling past 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. my time, but like super late for you guys. Next week, Psycho, if you're up a little bit early, you could host a group and lead it pretty easily. And once like Sentry and our Anton, if that falls apart, if they're done for the night, there's usually hordes that are looking, but when there's no more groups, they're like, I'm gonna hit the hay or just log off and watch the stream on my phone or something. Because a lot of people just watch it and just lurk. Sorry about that, Psycho. Next week though, my guy, I believe we can get you a group. Next week, my guy, I believe. Yo, we should, if they do any significant PvP updates, I think we'll start doing some PTR duels, and cross factions is gonna make it much easier to join groups. Dude, Psycho, imagine if we could just do cross faction. We'd have a horde group for you, alliance group for Nemi, or get a more hordes and alliance mixed together. My god, making groups is gonna be so much easier. And Nightmare stretches with the dono of a beautiful message. Can we get hashtag night in the chat? Boy, showing appreciation for one of the Dynamo, man. What's my alerts? There they are. Hey, thank you so much, my guy. Appreciate ya. Oh, beautiful mustache, dono. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, next week, boys, next week we'll get some 5V5 1v1 duels up and running. Thank you all so much for joining. You guys are wonderful, beautiful, super fun hanging out with all of you. Be here for the NA boys as they're going to be diving into the arenas themselves, trying to see if they can reclaim their long lost glory like the EU did today. Boys, I enjoyed the hell out of these duels. This was super fun. I'm going to get some pizza. I'm going to chill. And I'm going to pop on Elden Ring and play a little bit of that. I got to get some olds done for keys. But tonight I'm going to diving into that Elden Ring, dude. I didn't know they had it on PlayStation 4. I thought it was only on PlayStation 5 and PC. But apparently it's on PlayStation 4, so I'm going to play some. I'm going to see how I do. I'll let you guys know if you do well or not. But boys, have a good one. Thanks so much for popping in. Be here for the NA duels tomorrow. Thank you all. You guys are wonderful, beautiful. I'll make you, and I'll make sure, I can't talk. And I'll see all of you boys next stream. Okay, you guys have a wonderful evening. Peace, boys.
since 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings and rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Let you down, but you get up. They let you drown, but you don't stop. You're showing your phoenix.
Get ready for verse 2, Electric Blue.